Got to crash Nolensville Pike at Old Hickory Boulevard, and then over by Opryland, a crash Briley Parkway northbound at McGavick Pike. It is getting close to bumper if you're eastbound 40 over to the eastern split from downtown. And we're starting to build the slowdown northbound North Loop up to the northern split. And, of course, the eastbound East Loop over to the downtown split. A lot of brake tapping going on there. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, friends. Welcome in. It is the Matt Murphy Radio Show underway for another day. Happy to have you with us on this Tuesday, Jan 20, 2026. What is going on, friends? I missed you on Monday. I missed you yesterday. Thank you for joining us today. We've got 4 full hours of what I hope to be talk radio excellence on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. As I mentioned, my name is Matt Murphy, and this is the Matt Murphy Radio Show, which is convenient. I am joined by 2 of the best in the business. Jackson's also here. I don't know who the other one would have been, but, you see the opportunity and you take it. If they're going to leave the guy out in the flat open, you take him every time. There's Ken Weaver back in the newsroom, News Closet B, we call it. He gathers headlines for a living, delivers them twice an hour and when it breaks. What's going on, Ken Weaver?
How about you boys?
Ken?
Yes, sir.
Snowpocalypse.
I'm telling you, I tell you what, Brother Murphy, it's starting to look like it.
It's going to happen.
It looks like it's going to happen because, as I was telling Brother Chad and Brother Bellel right before the Murphy show, the National Weather Service has updated their look ahead, if you will, to include not only weekend snow and bitter cold this weekend, but also weekend freezing rain. Which means it's going to snow first if it happens, and then it's going to be freezing rain. So you're talking about real slick ice.
Oh, so some nice snow, like a little layer of snow.
Yes, sir.
And then some ice right on top of it.
Ice on top of it.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
And
it's going to be below freezing for starting Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and even Monday. Yeah, it's not good.
Got to get the home studio up and running, Ken.
Yeah, yes, sir, you do.
Got to get the home studio up and running.
You probably will be doing your show from home.
Homebound on Monday. I think we're going to make that happen. I've got a worst case scenario, I've got like a 50-foot Ethernet cable.
Yeah.
And I think that would work just fine.
What if your power goes out?
Huh. The power goes out? I got a megaphone.
Becomes the Ken Weaver show real quick.
Yeah, it would real quick.
It become the Jackson show.
I don't think I can overcome the power barrier. Hello, Jackson. By the way, how are you?
I'm good. Ken, how would you get to work if Matt can't get to work?
I'll just report from my breakfast nook.
How am I going to get here?
Well,
sled dog?
Yeah, you'll transport yourself, Brother Jackson.
BAMN. By any means necessary is how you get here, buddy. We need producers on the board, ready to go. Now, you bring up a good point, though, because in Mount Juliet, I lived right behind a large assisted living facility and the Providence Mall, and we never lost power. And I don't know if it had more to do with the Providence Mall or the assisted living facility. I would like to believe it was the assisted living facility, but I'm thinking it's probably the mall. But one way or the other, we never lost power. But I don't know. In MP, I got no clue. I could lose power at the drop of a hat for all I know.
I tell you what, where I live at, it's wonderful because our power lines are underground.
Oh, well, that's nice. See, that's good. So rarely is it that ice would cause you any trouble.
So, Ken, how much snow are we talking?
We are talking at least 3 inches of snow.
Oh, that's nothing.
And then, but it's going to be that layer of freezing rain if that happens.
So yesterday morning, I get the movers going, and I got a lot to say about that, but I don't want to bore everybody right off the top. We've got a lot to do, man. It is a crazy news week. And I've got a lot to say about things that happened over the weekend that I was unable to say yesterday. And I got a lot of kudos and thank yous to get out of the way. But yet, on this snow point, so when I didn't realize it was snowing this weekend, I've been so focused all weekend long from Friday till almost this moment on getting all my crap moved to Mount Pleasant that I was just out of it. And I had to meet with the fence guy, and we had to walk the line. You've got to establish where you're going to put the fence, and you do that, together to make sure that there's no, discrepancy. And so my man Philip, who Precision Fence, we got a great game plan, and I expect he's going to execute it flawlessly. We're walking the line there, and I said something about the cold, and he goes, well, and here comes the snow. And I was like, what do you mean snow? And he looks at me and he said, some forecasts claim that it's going to snow 15 inches this weekend.
That's what I saw. I was driving back yesterday, and I saw it on Twitter. I was like, oh, that's not true. And then I did a little dig, and I was like, oh.
Now, that's a worst-case scenario, but...
We just got an update.
Uh-oh.
U.S. National Weather Service just updated to say that now the chance is for at least 6 inches of snow, 57% Murfreesboro, 55% Nashville, 52% chance Clarksville, 63% Lafayette up there on the Kentucky border. But pretty much everybody in Middle Tennessee is like a 50-50 chance for at least 6 inches of snow.
What about on the plateau?
The plateau is the apocalypse.
We'll have to ask Brother Dan Thomas about the plateau.
We need to ask Dan Thomas about the plateau. We need to get Dan Thomas on at some point this week asking about the plateau.
Yes.
I'm going to have to get me a board at home. Figure out how to do this thing from there.
Good luck. BAMN. That's what I always used to tell my producers.
Yep.
They were like, well, what about BAMN? Yeah, but what about BAMN?
I got something for you.
What do you got?
FILLIN.
Boy, I thought you were going to spill it.
I thought Jackson had just had enough, man.
I thought you were going to give me an old... I got some letters for you, buddy.
I got those too, but
it starts with an F. Woo. And it ends with an N. And it's fill in. Oh, thank goodness. Speaking of fill-ins, thank you so much to Brian Wilson, the great Brian Wilson, for filling in yesterday. We so appreciate him. And I didn't catch a minute of it, but I am certain that Brian did his normal, incredible job.
He did a great job.
Well, and I so appreciate him being back in Afternoon Drive with us, and I hope you guys did as well. Let me stay around for a minute or two, though.
Yes.
I not only want to thank Brian, but I want to thank his lovely bride, Cabana Wife.
I heard about that, boy.
Let me tell you something. This was insane what Dawn and Brian did. They were so kind, and there's a lot of kindness that has been shown to me and Erica and the entire family as we're doing this move, and I'm going to get to a few of them in a minute if you will indulge me. But the Wilsons, they are feeding us for like a week. Dawn did. Let me tell you, have you had any of her cookies?
Yes.
Those cookies are evil.
Yeah, they weigh about 2 pounds apiece.
And they are it might be the best. And my wife bakes, and my wife is a great baker.
Absolutely.
And she does wonderful work. And she has baked many of the best things that I've ever put in my.
Yes,
this
sir.
might be the best cookie I've ever eaten. It might be the best cookie I've ever eaten.
I'm telling you, she could start a business.
It is insane how good these cookies are. And she made a lot of them. And then all the other food, and we've just got food for a week, and they're so kind. So thank you to the Wilsons, not just for Brian filling in, but for Dawn providing us some food so that we can get through the next few days without having to do fast food or whatever, because they know how it is. I mean, you move and everything's in boxes and you don't know where anything is, and it was very kind. I also want to thank, and I hope she's listening today, and I believe Erica texted her this morning, but and I feel like I didn't the movers were getting there just as Miss Stacy showed up from Mount Pleasant. She's my neighbor from a street over, and she heard we were coming into town, and she heard we were moving in, and she brought us this awesome, Ken, it's a charcuterie. She made, I'm not making this up, this nice neighbor, my new neighbor, Stacy, and I think her husband's name's Ken. She made a charcuterie thing. And it's got nuts, and it's got delicious pimento cheese that she homemade, and some sort of delicious butter that's spread on this bread. But she made salami roses. You ever seen this? Where they take salami and they make it into a rose. Oh. It's like a salami rose. That's like combining two of my favorite things on the planet. So I can't thank her enough. And she was getting there, and the movers were getting there, and I was kind of rushed and talking with her. So, Miss Stacy, I hope you're listening. Thank you so much. You're so very kind. There's just a tremendous amount of kindness that goes on, especially in these small town situations. And I just appreciate all of you. I appreciate Chris for doing me a solid on my window. Thank you, Chris. I got Mitch coming out. Mitch, big listener to the show. He's coming out tomorrow to deal with some door issues that I got. My sliding doors.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
got that going on. And thank you to National Painting Company, who has been a fine sponsor of ours, and I know they'll crank it back up when the season's here. They did a great job painting the house, and we appreciate those guys for all the work that they put into that. And thank you to Efficient Heating and Cooling, because for some reason my upper heater isn't working. We got it fixed temporarily, but we knew that it was a temporary fix, and they're coming back out tomorrow morning, and I appreciate those guys too, because you know what? It's a little bit cold outside.
Yes, sir.
A little bit cold outside. And those are my thank yous. And if I missed anyone, I sincerely apologize, but I think I got all the thank yous in there.
I got a question for Brother Weaver real fast.
What is it, brother?
5467 says Mike from Old Hickory called Brian yesterday.
Yo.
Uh-oh.
Yes, he did.
What happened, brother? We need the full scoop.
Oh, my. Yeah, Brian had to ask, and he asked politely, but kind of a little stern, because Brian doesn't like all the name calling and things like that.
That's right. He operates. Brian's a professional. Me, I'm not so much. But yeah. Anyway, so
Brother Mike, he was calling liberals and Democrats stupid, but that's how he was saying. He was saying it stupid, and Brian had to say, okay, all right, we don't have to call names. We can get your point across without calling names. But, Brother Mike got in there.
Man. Well, Mike.
He took advantage.
You take advantage of my being out for one day. I think as a punishment, we should add a week on to his ban.
Just a day.
Okay, just a day.
February 2nd, he can call back.
All right, so Groundhog Day, Mike can call in for as many times as he wants, over and over again. Well, you know what? Listening to one of Mike's calls is like Groundhog Day, because he says the same damn thing every time he calls.
Perfect.
So it's a perfect opportunity. So, Mike, you have a one-day extension on your ban because you violated it yesterday, taking advantage of the fact that I was out moving. All right. So, now
nobody disagreed. It was just, Brother Brian, he likes a certain decorum.
That's right. I mean, and I respect that. I appreciate that. One of these days, I'm going to aspire to it. But today is not that day, because I'm about to start name calling.
Uh-oh, you getting ready to go, aren't you?
I'm ready to. I'm getting fired up. So
here we go.
Let me get this straight. This is my 100,000-foot analysis. Let me get this straight. Leftists are now actively advocating and actively promoting and engaging in lawless behavior. They are actively demanding that law enforcement agents violate the stated rule of law, and they're actively, violently pushing back against law and order and the rule of law in the United States of America, openly. They are advocating for illegal aliens against law-abiding American citizens. They are advocating that we ignore law that has been passed. So these same jackholes that lectured us ad nauseum after January 6th, because they called that an insurrection and it wasn't, and they called it this and that and the other thing and it wasn't. these same jackholes, not jackals, jackholes, that want to lecture us about what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. We have elected representatives in the halls of Congress passing laws, established law on the books, and the elected chief executive of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump, engages his department, his executive branch of government, in enforcing those laws. And we are told now, because they don't like the law and they don't have the votes to change it, that it's okay to ignore it. That it is not only okay to ignore it, that they will demand that you ignore it. And if you do not ignore it, they will attack you in your places of worship. They will attack you in the streets. Because we support law and order, because we support the rule of law, they attack us in the streets and further erode and violate the law. Am I missing anything here? Am I missing something about the fact that it is impermissible, it is against the rules to enter the United States of America without the proper paperwork, without the proper documentation? And if you do so, that you have to be returned to your country of origin without specialized circumstances involved in your arrival, i.e. refugee status and whatnot. Am I missing anything here? When are we going to get pissed off like them? Aren't you? We have the law at our side. We have the law behind us. And if they don't like, and I understand it. Look, I get it. I get it. They don't like it. They're mad about it. They want free reign. They want all the illegal. They don't invite them into their houses. They don't invite them into their communities. They don't invite them into their bedrooms. But they want them in this country. But they don't have the votes to change it. And so they just decide that they're going to ignore the rules. How far away, and it occurred to me over the weekend, I'm watching this jackwad Don Lemon and all of that, and I've got a lot to say about that too. How far away from complete lawlessness are we? If you decide which laws are morally proper for you, and which are not, and which we ought to follow and which we should not. So it is against the rules to enter the United States of America without the proper documentation. If you do so, there are consequences for you violating those rules. But the liberals are like, well, we don't like that anymore, so we're going to ignore that, and we're going to demand not only that our fellow citizens ignore it, we're going to demand that the law enforcement apparatus that is there to protect American citizens' interest, we're going to demand that they ignore it too. So not only are we ignoring it on our streets, not only are we ignoring it in our neighborhoods, we're demanding that ICE ignore it as well. Okay, so explain to me how far away we are from liberals arguing that it is perfectly permissible for poor people to steal whatever they want to steal. I defy you to call me and tell me how that is different than the first example. How is it different that we're going to ignore the theft of property so long as we feel morally and ethically that you really, really need it? So if you want to walk into Publix or walk into Piggly Wiggly or walk into Kroger and take food and walk out, we're going to demand that law enforcement do not enforce the laws that are on the books against the theft of property because these people obviously really need it. And we're not going to go through the process of changing those laws. We're not going to talk to these business owners that complain about the theft of property because they're just mean people. They're evil people. They're racist people. They're whatever. You know, pick your pejorative. What am I missing? What am I missing that they aren't seconds away from that position? The political left. Can y'all help me? Can y'all help me? I don't know what to tell you. It's 25 after the hour. Just getting underway. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Call us 615-737-9986. That's the super text line. That's the call-in line. Would love to hear from you. It's the Matt Murphy Show. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy for the Tennessee Men's Clinic. Gentlemen, I understand that you don't want to talk about it when your performance is affected in the bedroom. I get it because it's a very personal issue, and it's one that you get very frustrated with. But here's the deal, folks. There are solutions for you. It is not 1976. It is 2026. And you have an opportunity to get to the Tennessee Men's Clinic. Locations abound in Middle Tennessee. We got 3, and a 4th one is on the way. And they can help you, gentlemen, when it comes to your issues, whether it's just general energy-based issues or if it is an issue with your intimacy or your romantic relationships. Friends, you've got to stop procrastinating and get with the Tennessee Men's Clinic. The Tennessee Men's Clinic has locations in Midtown, right here in Nashville, in Cool Springs, and also now in Clarksville. And they can assist you. Do not trust online shops. You don't know what you're getting. You don't know if those pills or whatever they're selling work. Trust the qualified urologist at the Tennessee Men's Clinic. And when you go in, $99, that's your appointment. Your initial appointment is $99. It includes a full medical consultation, blood work, and if medically advised, they'll begin your treatment right there on the first visit. That's what it's all about. Let's go, fellas. Let's get back in the game with the Tennessee Men's Clinic. Call 615-208-9090, 615-208-9090, or online, TennesseeMen'sClinic.com.
3:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. The chances for snow and freezing rain this weekend are increasing, according to the U.S. National Weather Service in Nashville. Got the full forecast and traffic updates here in 5 minutes. President Trump, during a near 2-hour White House press briefing on his first year in office today, mentioned his desire to acquire Greenland and did not answer directly if his actions to acquire the territory would lead to the dissolvement of NATO.
I think something's going to happen that's going to be very good for everybody. Nobody's done more for NATO than I have, as I said before, in every way.
Meanwhile, reports say Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison, Governor Tim Walz, and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey have been subpoenaed by the Justice Department as part of its investigation into possible obstruction of federal immigration officers. Walz and Frey say the federal government is escalating politically motivated attacks on Minnesota officials. Right now in Tennessee, the Tennessean says Nashville Chancellor Aisha Miles has expanded media access to the state's execution process. Her ruling requires full visibility for witnesses throughout the procedure. Miles said transparency is critical as the state carries out the death penalty. The decision comes months before the next execution on Tennessee's calendar, which is in May. And election 2026, the governor's race officially underway as candidates begin gathering petition signatures. Republican Senator Marsha Blackburn, Congressman John Rose, State Rep Monty Fritz among those launching their campaigns, along with several Democratic and independent contenders. And election 2027, Nashville Councilmember Joy Stiles has officially announced she's running for mayor. She becomes the first candidate to enter the race, setting the stage early. Stiles says Nashville needs, quote, a fighter, and points to her record of inclusive leadership. She currently represents District 32 in Antioch. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
A seismic shift is coming. It's time to get super sure. Not kind of sure, not pretty sure, not a little sure, but super sure. The seismic shift is coming. Super sure. Coming soon.
From the United Structural Systems WTN Traffic Center.
Glen Cliff got a crash blocking the left lane, 24 eastbound at Briley Parkway. In Madison, a crash, Conference Drive at Gallatin Pike North. Eastern Split got a stalled vehicle off on the right shoulder, 24 westbound there at exit 52AB. Tusculum, a crash, Nolensville Pike just north of Old Hickory Boulevard. And in Hermitage, got a wreck, Bell Road at Arbor Lake Boulevard. And in Antioch, a crash, Cane Ridge Road south of Bell Road. I'm Ken Weaver.
We could see a little bit of snow, but no accumulation is expected.
Friends, if you travel down Franklin Way, you get to the square in Franklin, you'll know where you are. It's beautiful down there. You'll see Savory Spice just beside Gray's Pharmacy. Walk in and smell the delicious aroma. You can smell cinnamon and nutmeg. On occasion, you'll smell salts and peppers and just a variety of different flavors, oregano. And I mean, all of those flavors kind of blending together when you walk through the doors of Savory Spice. It's absolutely fascinating. It is a great smell. And you'll absolutely love it. Then you'll love the friendly folks. Holly, David, and the rest of the crew at Savory Spice are so good at what they do. They can help you newbies in the kitchen. If you've never been around the kitchen, if you need the Spice and Easy line, or you're just trying to learn what seasonings to get to stock up. Perhaps you're getting back stocked up after the holiday season, or maybe you're looking for that specialty spice. You can find it at Savory Spice. They're just a cut above the stock stores. They're a cut above the big box stores. They do things the right way, and it doesn't have to cost you an arm and a leg. They don't charge you more because they're better. They're just better. That's the bottom line. They've got great gift-giving ideas as well at Savory Spice. Go in and see the shop that everybody talks about, Savory Spice. I like to say you up your food game by upping your spice game, and you up your spice game at the one and only Savory Spice. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Ken Weaver, you've got a staff of I don't know how many back there in the newsroom,
Yes,
News
sir.
Closet B. We need to send one of our reporters, our intrepid reporters, down to the Naked Statue Circle.
What's going on?
Apparently, there are protesters. We had a reporter down there. Chad Benson was walking by. Chad says we should send Jackson down there. Apparently, there are between 100 to 150 ICE protesters at the roundabout. At the
okay.
Naked Statues. That down there on DeMonbrian. And they Chad sent me a few pictures. Let's see. One of them says, Marsha Blackburn, Bill Haggerty, do your jobs, impeach the dictator.
Oh.
How's he? I need to go down there. I need to talk to some of these folks because I would ask this fellow with this sign that says impeach the dictator, does he not believe that he was elected? I mean, he was elected in 2024, right? I mean, we are now at day 365 of Donald Trump's second term as president of the United States of America. Also, we're on day 960 of the Matt Murphy Show on Super Talk, but be that as it may. Day 365. This has been 1 year. Only, doesn't it feel like more like 6, y'all? I mean,
I think it's gone fast, man.
You think so?
I think it's gone fast.
We've gotten a lot done, man.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, think about where we were when Donald Trump took over regarding our southern border. We don't talk about the southern border anymore.
Well, and we needed Congress to take care of that southern border. Remember?
Oh, that's right. That's what Joe Biden told us.
That's what
right?
Joe Biden told.
Joe Biden said, "Oh, we just need some money from Congress. We'll get." I kind of miss him.
Yes.
Hey, come on.
Gotta have Congress.
Hey, Jack. Yeah. Dog-faced pony soldier. Yeah, we needed Congress. Sure, we did. Anyway, I would ask this fella who's holding the sign that says impeach the dictator, how's he a dictator if he was elected in 2024? That's not a dictator. I'd love to see what he says. And then somebody is holding up a sign that says WWJD, stop ICE. Okay. And then another one says justice and liberty for all. I've seen that sign before. That's a fake handmade sign that people gather around. And let's see, what else do we have? We've got one that says bleep ICE, starts with an F-bomb. It's the F-bomb that I thought Jackson said earlier. And then dump Trump and his GOP ass kissers. Well, ma'am, you dump Trump by electing a different president of the United States. And the president of the United States that we elected in 2024 was elected in part because of his position on illegal immigration. Once again, when you encounter people like this, I would encourage you, A, to be nice. B, I would encourage you to ask two basic questions. These are the questions that I like to start with for my liberal friends. Number one, regardless of what you think they should be, should there be rules as to how you enter the United States of America? Think about that for a minute. Should there be rules or no rules? Rules or no rules? We don't have to talk about what the rules are right now. Just should there be rules how you come in? Now, if the answer to that question, when you're talking to one of our liberal friends, if the answer to that question is no, then understand that you're talking to an absolute moron, an absolute idiot that does their best just to get up in the morning and manage to remember how to put on their clothes. I mean, I'm sorry. Is that mean? Is that harsh of me to say it that way? Well, what else am I supposed to say? Without a process, without rules, without a sovereign border, without some semblance of knowledge as to who comes in and who comes out, you don't really have a country. You just have gatherings of people that come and go as they please. You don't have a system of law and order. So it's kind of a baseline. Should there be rules as to who comes in? And if the answer is yes, then the follow-up is simple. Well, I would like to talk with you about what those rules should be, but before I do, let me ask you this. If you have rules, what do you do to the people who break them? That's it. What do you do with them? Do you do nothing? Because if you do nothing, why do you have rules? It's really that simple. If you're running a household and you have 4 kids, and the kids always want cookies before dinner. They want some of those delicious Dawn Wilson, insanely good $1 million cookies. And so you've noticed that they eat the cookies and then they're not hungry for their dinner. And so you have to create a rule because otherwise there's lawlessness and they're just eating cookies. And the rule is no cookies before dinner. You may not have a cookie before dinner. We can talk about cookies after dinner. We can talk about how that's going to work, but there's no cookie eating before dinner. So you walk in the kitchen, you're the grown-up, and you see your 7-year-old chowing down on a cookie at 4:30 in the afternoon before dinner. Well, what do? Do you punish the lawbreaker? Do you punish the rule breaker? Do you punish the person that has violated the rules as set down? Or do you let it go? What do you do to the people that break the rules? If you do nothing, then you ought not to have rules to begin with. What liberals are literally arguing on the streets of Minneapolis, Minnesota, and all across the United States of America, and apparently right down here at the Naked Statues in downtown Nashville, Tennessee, off Music Row, what liberals are actively arguing is that whether or not there are rules, there should be no consequences for breaking the rules. And that does not make any sense to me. I believe it's David on line 1. Is that correct? All right, we've got no problems with the phone lines. You can get in here at 615-737-9986. But I'll be asking Jackson who's on 1, who's on 2, who's on 3, because there's a little bit of a communication issue between that room and this room. So we've got David on line 1. Hey, David, how are you?
Hey, Matt, how are you? Thank you for taking the call.
I'm good, and you're welcome.
Okay, so today on my Google News feed, I saw a post from a Democratic politician that says we will resist and be ungovernable by resisting and not complying with the rules. So I wonder at what point are we going to get the cojones to deal with those people that are breaking the law, resisting the law, and impeding the ability of law enforcement to do their jobs. I understand, Matt, the optics, and I think the whole Minneapolis general protest is to paint an ugly optic for the 2026 elections and to deflect away from some of the other problems like fraud and things like that.
No, I agree. David, I agree with you. I agree with you on the optics front, but at some point, we just have to stop caring about that because they're never going to play fair. And they're going to trash whatever we do, no matter what it is, until they get their way.
Yes, sir, I agree.
Yeah. And so I do think we need a firmer approach. I do think we need to strongly delineate between what is lawful protest, what is legal protest, and what is not. And you're allowed to stand. Look, this thing that's going down at the naked statues off of Music Row, that's fine, whatever. You want to stand next to the naked statues and hold a sign, and that's fine. That's fine. What you cannot do is, and David, you obviously know this, what you cannot do is impede law enforcement activities that are legal.
So I have one last question, and it's just that I don't know the legalities. Does the president or the Congress have the right to appear on national TV like CBS, NBC, ABC, and put forth a messaging campaign that offsets the ugly optics? Is that not a requirement or a option?
Well, the president certainly can send out that message. There are two ways to get that done, David, and I'll let you listen online, and I appreciate your telephone call this afternoon. And looky here, what'd you do? Jackson, you fixed it.
I fixed it.
How about you?
There was cord loose.
Look at the big brain on Jackson. What about that?
That's the way to go, Brother Jackson.
Making it happen today. Making it happen. Two ways to do that, David. Number one, you can buy time. You can buy advertising. Number two, the president of the United States may request time on the networks. I don't think he can require the networks to cover him. There might be a trigger in a time of national emergency. Now, and we can get into the weeds of arguing whether or not this qualifies as a national emergency. But national emergency, national crisis, we're talking about serious like invasion and that sort of thing. Now, once again, I understand what you're saying out there, but generally speaking, if the president makes an address to the nation and he requests that address appear on all the networks carry it. ABC, CBS, NBC. But they are not required to. They are not required to. That is my understanding of how it works. And if I'm wrong, y'all correct me, but I don't think I'm wrong. I may be wrong, but I doubt it. 615-737-9986. By the way, speaking of the president and the vice president of the United States of America, I don't know. Hey, Ken Weaver.
Yes, sir.
Have you seen this news about the VP?
Yes, I have.
What about that, buddy boy?
Yeah, the vice president and second lady Usha Vance are expecting a fourth child.
How about that? I thought they were on the outs, according to all the liberals. I thought J.D. Vance, I have it on good authority, according to that nut job Candace Owens, that J.D. Vance was going to marry Erica Kirk.
Yeah.
Huh, I guess that's not true. Like everything else she says. Anyway, Kim is next up. Kim, thank you for calling. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm great. What's on your mind?
On your new home.
Oh, you're very kind. Thank you so much. It's going to be great.
Good. Glad you're settled where you want to be.
Right here in God's country, Middle Tennessee, Miss Kim.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
I just have a comment about your earlier comment about us having the law on our side as far as what to do with illegals and breaking our laws of entry into our country and that kind of thing. And we do have the law on our side, but the problem is Congress never enforces it. And now that President Trump has made the first steps in following through with enforcing it, he doesn't. I don't see that he has the support of Republicans in Congress, and he certainly doesn't have their support and their hard work, which seems to be lacking a lot of times, to pass into law his executive orders. I'm so disheartened and sick of Republicans' spineless supposed attempts to get something done. This Congress has followed many other Republican Congresses in the past with accomplishing nothing and folding at every Democrat hurdle that's put in their way. They can't seem to agree among themselves, drop their egos enough and their conservative, I'm more conservative than you are attitudes enough to actually accomplish anything. And
what is your top? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I'm curious. What is your top line, one or two things that you want to see from Congress?
I want to see them put into law all of the presidential executive orders that he has passed, so that they're not turned over if they lose in the midterms or down the road. I want them to actually stand up and do their jobs.
Well, I mean, I'm not here to defend the Congress, but I would say that they did pass the big, beautiful bill. You said they did nothing. I mean, unless you don't like the big, beautiful bill. I mean, I think it had some good – I mean, I wouldn't have voted for it, but I think it has some decent aspects to it.
I do too, but that's the only thing we can really point to of any substance that they have accomplished.
Well, I don't want them to do anything more. I mean, in a way, I want them to stop doing things, because every time they do something, they spend money.
Well, that's true.
You know, and so I just assume they stop spending money. I understand your frustration, though, Ms. Kim. It is they get so mealy-mouthed, and they just get so mealy-mouthed when they get up there. Yeah. It's just so frustrating, and I get it. I understand it, and I'm frustrated too. It feels like we take a step forward and then two steps back. But I will say this, the president has accomplished a lot in his first year in office. And thankfully, we have a guy that's willing to stand up for what's right and for what he believes in without fear of reprisal. Kim, I got to go. I'm sorry I do, but I'm very, very late. I just looked at the clock. Thank you for the call. Thank you for the consideration. And I understand where you're coming from completely. It is frustrating that more in Congress do not have the wherewithal to get past the finish line on some of these issues, particularly single appropriations bills, which they claim to be working on, but I'm not holding my breath on it. And cut, I believe that says. It's 54 after the hour. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I need to do that. I need to start staying live during the commercial breaks. I can curse during the commercial breaks, can I? Wow. Okay. Well, maybe X-rated Murphy coming up soon. This is not X-rated, although it can get that way when it comes to your cyber security. Sadly, there are bad people out there that want to do bad things to your company and to your business and to your computer systems within your business. And if you don't know who they are and what they're doing, that's a problem. You need to. And you get that knowledge through Michael and his team at Alpha and Omega. 70% of cyber attacks target small to medium-sized businesses. And if you run a small to medium-sized business and you do not have IT professionals on your team, let's make a call to Alpha and Omega and see how they can assist you. They can run all of your IT issues, all of your IT, your computer servers, your emails, cybersecurity, printers, all of it. And you don't have to think about it anymore. They become your IT department, essentially, and you don't have to worry about it, and you can get in the business of making money from your business as opposed to worrying about your email or worrying about your servers and whatnot. 615-784-0096, 615-784-0096, or ANO.net. That's ANO.net. From beginning to end, it's Alpha and Omega.
4 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. And Bree Smith over there on Channel 4 says the next big weather change will be accumulating snow and ice. We're going to tell you more about that during the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. At the White House press briefing today, President Trump claimed federal agents have arrested tens of thousands of criminals, and he also addressed the anti-ICE protesters there in Minneapolis.
Minnesota, the crime is incredible. The financial crimes are incredible. And the problem is because of the agitators and insurrectionists, whatever you want, troublemakers, but they're paid agitators and insurrectionists.
New federal investigation into Minnesota elected officials ramping up with the issuance of grand jury subpoenas, says ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
Officials say the subpoenas have been served on the Minnesota governor, the state's attorney general, the mayors of Minneapolis and St. Paul, and the county prosecutors for both cities. Sources say the investigation centers around whether those Democratic elected officials have been obstructing federal law enforcement. Governor Tim Walz calls it a partisan distraction, and he says neither he nor his state will be intimidated into silence.
Right now in Tennessee, execution protocol may get a major change after a ruling from Nashville Chancellor Aisha Miles. The Tennessean says she ordered the state to allow reporters to watch the entire execution, not just a brief portion of it. Miles said full visibility is essential for public accountability. The ruling comes ahead of a multiple executions planned for this year, the first one in May. Election 2026, the Tennessean says candidates for governor are fanning out across the state, collecting signatures to qualify for the August primary. 12 contenders have stepped forward so far, including Marsha Blackburn, John Rose, Jerry Green, Carnita Atwater. Senator Blackburn focusing her message on conservative priorities and expanding school vouchers, while Congressman Rose highlighting roads, jobs, and health care access, and still wants a debate. Petitions are due March 10th as the field begins to take shape. Election 2027, Metro Council member Joyce Stiles is launching a campaign for mayor in 2027. Her announcement makes her the earliest candidate to step into the race. Stiles says she's running to advocate for neighborhoods and bring her leadership experience citywide. She has served District 32 in Antioch since 2019. And Metro Council set to decide tonight whether to move forward with a $15 million public safety grant aimed at boosting security in downtown Nashville. Even if it passes, there'll still be fights over how that money is spent. Specific surveillance or technology purchases like cameras and a new police command center armored vehicle would still require separate Metro Council approval. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Couple issues on 65. Got one northbound. That's a crash there at I-440. Then in Franklin, a crash southbound at I-840. And in Antioch, got a crash reported by police. It's going to be Murfreesboro Pike, just west of Mount View Road. And in Bellevue, Highway 70 South at Sawyer Brown Road. I'm Ken Weaver.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Matt Murphy. This is the Matt Murphy Radio Show. Pleased to have you with us. It is 7 minutes after 4 o'clock. Man, there's a lot going on. Donald Trump spent a good amount of time in the press briefing room in Washington, D.C. earlier today, detailing many of his accomplishments over the first 365 days of his second term as President of the United States of America. We'll deal with some of that this hour. We are anticipating action on the issue surrounding Greenland. Greenland, I'm hesitant to talk about this subject, and it is for a very personal and embarrassing reason. I always question myself as to whether or not I'm pronouncing Greenland correct. Greenland or Greenland? Which one are we going with, Jackson? I'll let you pick. Jackson, consistent with your trip over to Tunica over the weekend, dealer's choice. Greenland or Greenland?
Greenland.
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 You're going Greenland.
Greenland.
Like Lebanon.
Like Lebanon.
Mm-hmm. Shovel.
Shovel.
Greenland.
Greenland.
Ken Weaver.
Greenland.
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 All right. It's unanimous. It's Greenland. All right, we'll talk about Greenland a little bit later on. Donald Trump wants it. He says it's geopolitically necessary, and he wants access to it, and he wants to annex it. And Denmark says no, and the rest of the European Union says no, yada, yada, yada. Who knows what will happen there? We've got the Iranian situation that continues to bubble right beneath the surface. We'll continue talking about that as well. We've got issues surrounding ICE raids in Minneapolis and beyond all across the United States of America, simply following the rule of law. I would love... Here's the thing. Liberals have gotten so emotional, they can't even talk anymore. Now, I have several that have communicated with me on the super text line, and I would love to talk with you. And I just want to know. I'm not even judging it. I just want to know. You want to abolish ICE? Several liberals in Congress, in the halls of Congress, have declared that they desire to abolish Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Well, what do you replace that with? I mean, before it was Immigration and Customs Enforcement, it was INS, the Immigration and Naturalization Service, right? And that got rolled into Immigration and Customs Enforcement when they had expanded responsibilities post 9/11. So that's fine. If you want to eliminate it, are you just going to have no immigration service whatsoever? Are we going to leave it to local authorities to determine whether someone is legally in this country? And who do those local authorities turn that person over? Let's say that we have, I don't know, a Venezuelan national that's decided to rape and kill a 16-year-old American. Oh, that would never happen, right? Mm-hmm. What do you do with that person? Send them to jail and then let them out? I mean, once again, you have rules. There have to be punishments based on the rules that you have. I'm just trying to work through this logically, and that's my problem, is that you cannot follow liberals if you try to follow them logically, because they don't operate logically. They operate emotionally. They just want all of this to stop. Stop, they say. Well, what do you want to happen? There are consequences for stopping these activities. We saw the fruit of those consequences over the last 4 years. We watched as American people got killed at the hands of illegal aliens. And stop with the nonsense about, well, illegal aliens kill fewer Americans. The crime statistics are down. The crime statistic regarding illegal aliens in America ought to be zero, Don Lemon. Ought to be zero, because they should not be here. It reminds me, And I believe, I don't know if this is the case in Tennessee, so I don't want to speak for it. But I know in Alabama, because I lived there for about 20 years, that if Ken Weaver and I get into a traffic altercation, okay, and it's Ken Weaver's fault, which probably would be, I don't know why I'm doing that. I don't know why I'm throwing flames your way, but you know what I mean. So Jackson.
No, it's Ken Weaver. He couldn't see over the dashboard, and he hit you.
No.
He left his booster seat at home.
No, it's not about a booster seat. He's got the boot. You know what he's doing? He was combing that glorious beard.
Oh, when he got distracted, ran a red light, and T-boned.
Yeah. Now, let's say that I'm drunk. Who's at fault?
You.
Because I shouldn't have been there.
Yeah.
That's what the law says. So these people like Don Lemon, who made the argument with a woman on the street this weekend that, one, he makes these ridiculous arguments that it's not illegal to come into the country without proper documentation, which is stupid on its face. Of course it is. It's against the rules, and there have to be consequences for the rules. Number two, he makes the argument, well, illegal aliens by percentage commit fewer crimes than American citizens. One, that's not true. Number two, even not accounting for the underreporting of illegal alien crimes, it's not true. Number two, it doesn't matter. We are American citizens, and we always are going to have individuals that violate the law in the United States of America. But the illegal alien crime statistics should be zero because they should not be here. So if I get into a traffic accident with someone else and that someone else has been drinking, even if it is my fault, that person is going to be charged with drunk driving, and that person is considered to be at fault for the accident because that person should never have been there to begin with because they're drunk or drinking. Y'all follow? I do not expect people that are standing in the cold outside of the naked statues. I wonder if those naked statues get their, I wonder if they nip out in this weather. What do y'all think? I'm just asking. The statues, You ever been up close with the statues? We should go up there sometime.
No, I've never. I drive past them every day.
The three of us should go and shoot some publicity photos in front of the naked statue. What y'all think?
I'm in.
All right.
Okay. Weaver agreed. You know what would make a big splash is if we went ahead and, win in Rome. Just go ahead and.
Yeah, that'd be a big splash, all right.
Oh!
Let's wait till 110-degree day.
It's too cold for all that nowadays. But, yeah, apparently we've got some protesters up at the statues on Demonbreun.
And they got nasty words on their signs, too.
They do. Bleep ice, one of them says. One of them calls Trump a dictator, which I don't, once again, I don't understand. He was elected in 2024. There's no suggestion that there were any shenanigans during that election process. He swept the swing states, but he's a dictator. How's he a dictator? Tell me how Trump's a dictator. So I try to engage the political left because I genuinely don't understand many of these things that they talk about, and they won't engage me. They'll engage me every once in a while on the super text line. I would love to get a call. I'll give you the floor. I'll let you talk. I'll let you talk about how awful it is and how optically it's so bad and how it's mean-spirited. For example, 3740 writes in, and occasionally I'll get these types of comments. There is an Alabama country mile between treating people with dignity as you deport them and what Trump is doing in Minnesota. I'm sorry. All right, first off, where is it written that we have to treat them with dignity? Now, that may be a nice to have. I'm not arguing that you should, treat them like human beings. Okay, let's treat them like human beings. But we have established that many of these individuals are law breakers. Kristi Noem over the weekend, and she got pushback on CBS, and I guess it was Norm Macdonald, pushed back. Oh, that's not. Kristi Noem said 70%. By our statistics, 70% of the individuals that are being apprehended have violated the law, in addition to violating the law by being here illegally. So I would love for you to call me and explain, 3740, what obligation the president of the United States has to treat these people with. I mean, what would that treat them with dignity? How? You have to be deported. What level of dignity is not being met right now that you would prefer being met? That you would prefer be met? Any help? 2666 says, dang, did I miss Matt's review and celebration of Carson Beck's interception of destiny last night? I almost, by the way, did you enjoy, y'all fellas watch the football game last night?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I saw that interception coming a mile away. Carson Beck didn't.
Carson Beck couldn't throw the football a mile, Jackson. Come on.
He threw it into double coverage.
He did throw it into double coverage. I almost picked up the phone. I left it alone because I, genuinely don't have a dog in the fight. I dog, D-A-W, dog, D-A-W-G, because, whatever. But I almost picked up my phone and tweeted, nice to see the real Carson Beck showed up for the end of the game. But I decided against it. Believe it or not, I chose to be the bigger man.
You want to something that surprised me that I didn't really wrap my head around until last night? You know how long Curt Cignetti's been at Indiana?
2 years.
Yeah, this was his second season.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
For a program, this isn't like he took over a once great program that has fallen on hard times. He's not taking over Oklahoma.
It's not a Nick Saban Alabama deal.
Yeah, he's not taking over, what would be another example of that? Oklahoma, Georgia, Alabama. One of those, once great institutions. He took over a team that had won 6 bowl games in 120 years.
Butch Jones. What?
100.
What?
Had to bring up old brick by brick.
What? Oh, I'm sorry. Please go ahead. Go ahead. You were making a point.
They were historically bad.
Derek Dooley. What?
Yeah, but it's NIL time now, boys.
It is a different world that we live in, fellas. Mark Cuban has it. Look,
it's professional football.
Cignetti is a great coach. There's no doubt. You don't win a national championship without being a great coach. But it's a different world, and you can build a team differently. And he brought a lot of those folks over from, James Madison? Was it James Madison that he came from? I think that's right. He brought a bunch of team over and
said they were chock full of 2 and 3 stars.
Well, that's great. That's great. They're national champions. And that Fernando Mendoza is a dork. Isn't he?
Yeah.
I heard him because the television was on. We got the TV on while I was unpacking stuff and trying to get stuff situated last night after the movers left. And so I had not an opportunity to really listen to an interview with Mendoza. I didn't see any of the Heisman hype, but I listened to his post-game interviews, and he is like a science geek that is really, really good at football. Is that fair?
It's like he's like a football geek. Like that's all. Like he hyper fixates on football.
It's like he's discussing a science project where. So I took an apple and and I got the sun to bake the apple and I did that, but then I used microwave and then I did and isn't that cool?
And then I scored a touchdown.
And then I scored a touchdown by diving into the end zone, and I'm a badass.
That run was
incredible.
I know, iconic. It will in the lore of the college football championship. It is going to be iconic.
You know, I won that game for them.
What's that?
That block punt for a touchdown.
Yeah.
And the Hurricanes missed field goal.
Mm-hmm.
Missing them field goals. That'll get you in them close ones.
That will indeed get you. Who we got in this? While we're just spending a second on football, we'll get back to immigration and the like in a moment. Who we got in the Super Bowl, fellas? I got the Rams.
I got the Rams and the Patriots. And I bet you Vrabel's going to win it. Vrabel's going to win the Super Bowl, man.
Seahawks over Patriots.
You think Seahawks over Patriots?
Yes.
I'll talk to you offline about putting a little money where your mouth is on that Seahawks-Rams game.
I'm not betting on the Rams again.
No, you bet on the Seahawks. I'll bet on the Rams.
Oh, okay.
I think Stafford's getting back to the Super Bowl. I don't know if he'll win it or not because the Patriots, man, they're good.
Who's got the best defense?
The Seahawks
The Seahawks?
by a county mile.
No, the Broncos have the best defense left. Thank you.
But now,
But they don't have the other thing you need to get to the Super Bowl.
understand what
which
you.
is-
What question did Weaver ask? I'm
But
just
it's-
answering the question that was asked.
In my mind, they don't exist anymore. You're starting Jarrett Stidham in an AFC Championship
that's
game.
fair.
You just,
That's fair.
You don't exist anymore. It's
Fair.
over.
That's fair.
It's games of Fugazi.
Poor fella. I mean, Bo Nix broke his foot.
Broke his ankle.
Second to last play of the game?
Yeah, they ran a really stupid quarterback draw.
That's tough. All right, that's foosball on the News Talk station on
Bobby
Super Talk.
Boucher.
Yes, Super Talk 99.7 WT. And it's Cut's turn. Hello, Cut.
Mr. Murphy, how you doing?
Hey, Cut. I'm doing well. I hope you are.
Good. Hey, yes. Congratulations on the house, man.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate that.
Got a question for you. I need you to help me make this make sense.
Okay.
Now, didn't Tim Walz, wasn't he a vice presidential nominee less than 2 years ago?
He was.
And aren't they supposed to have a strenuous vetting process?
They do.
How in the world did they miss all this crap going on in Minnesota?
Well, here's the thing about that. Here's the way I think that vetting process went. Is Tim Walz Jewish?
No.
Does he support Israel?
I don't think so.
He's good. Because it apparently was between him and Shapiro in Pennsylvania, and Shapiro was a little too Jewish and was a little too supportive of Israel, and they couldn't have that at the time because they were all about the pro-Palestinian movement. So, no, I mean, to your point, Democrats don't care about fraud. Come on.
Well, this is true. But my point is the vetting process. I've heard so much about the vetting process. What happened?
Well, one of the things that I've come to learn over the years that I've done this is that Democrats got it so good. Democrats got it good, Cut, because they don't have to worry about the media coming after them. So even if during the vetting process, and I hear what you're saying, so let's say we're, Team Harris, and we're trying to figure out who's our VP going to be. And if we come across any of this deep stuff, it's not like the media is going to find out about it. And even if they do find out about it, it's not like they're going to do anything with it.
Well, that's just something that's been on my mind since I've heard all of this. I'm like, wait a minute. This guy was running for vice president less than 2 years ago. And what about the vetting process? How could they have missed all of this? But anyway, I get your point.
I love it. No, I like the way you're thinking, Cut. Thank you for the call. You call us back anytime. Joe wants to argue with me. Don wants to talk football. We'll do both on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hi, friends. It's Matt Murphy, and I want to spend a moment talking with you about Nashville Safe House. Are your valuables safe? Are the things that you value in your life or the things that protect that which you value, are they safe from theft or fire? Friends, you got to keep those important documents and that paperwork, the sentimental items safe, the jewelry and whatnot, but you also have to keep those things safe that keep you safe. And that would be a gun safe from Nashville Safe House. They've got all brands, all shapes, all sizes, all fire ratings. They've got something for you at Nashville Safe House. When you walk through the door, you'll see the lovely Jill sitting right there at the desk. She truly is the straw that stirs the drink. Don't let Mark fool you. Secondarily, you'll probably see Mark. He'll be around somewhere. You'll see Donald Trump to your left. You'll see the Murphy Special on your right. You'll see the insane amount of safes right through the showroom doors at Nashville Safe House. Go by and see them. See Browning or Fort Knox or Rhino, Superior. They've got all name brands. They've got a price point for you. They've got a size that you need, and it's what they do at Nashville Safe House. Safes, biometrics, vault doors, tornado shelters, and that's about it at Nashville Safe House. Go to NashvilleSafeHouse.com, NashvilleSafeHouse.com. They're simply the best in the business with more safes in stock than anywhere in the United States of America. It's Nashville Safe House.
We'll tell you some of what President Trump said during a near 2-hour White House press briefing today. We'll let you hear it coming up at 4:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Touting that first year in office, 365 days down, and I don't know how many more to go. Over 1,000, though. Long way to go in this Trump presidency, and I'm here for every second of it. You are as well. 615-737-9986, 615-737 WWTN. Don is next up. Wants to talk football. Joe, I'm coming to you. Joe wants to argue with me about something or another. Hey, Don, how are you?
Pretty good. Yourself?
I'm well. Thank you for asking.
Hey, congratulations on the new home.
Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
In about a year, you might be settled.
Oh, man, boxes. Who needs cardboard? I got it. Who needs cardboard? I got it. Woo.
Hey, that was a good game last night. I am a Miami Hurricanes fan. I grew up in South Florida. 1982 was my first Miami Hurricane game that I went to, and I've been hooked ever since. But Jackson, I know it's his second year coaching for Indiana, but the NIL has destroyed college football. I don't believe they're making more money playing football than they will the first 5 years playing the NFL. Now, Beck, he will never be in the NFL. He's no good.
He'll be a backup.
He'll be drafted. He'll go
in the fifth round.
Yeah,
Fourth,
fifth round. Sure. Yeah.
I mean, look at Cam Ward. He was another one and done, which is disgusting. I can't stand that one and done. $5 million to throw a football to play college football. Here's what needs to happen in college football. Take all the scholarships away, pay the players, make them pay for their own room and board, pay for their own scholarship, pay for their own food, their own tutors, all the stuff they're given right now. It's just disgusting. It's getting harder to watch college football now with players that can't commit for 4 years.
Don, I share your sentiment. We have gotten here, and thank you for the call. We have gotten to where we are today in a mere, 5 years? 4 years?
Less than that, I think.
NIL? 4 years?
4 years.
Or it happened around COVID.
In 4 years, we're now at a point where some teams are paying their quarterbacks over $6 million to play college football.
That's what the market dictates.
You
can't blame the players.
No, I don't blame the players for getting the money. I'm suggesting the system has to be corrected. Otherwise, you'll see universities just finding these big money benefactors that want to win a natty, and they'll buy themselves natties. And no one wants to talk because Cignetti's a great coach about the influence that Mark Cuban had. Mark Cuban spent the money that paid for the national championship, and that's fine. So because Indiana fan base would say, well, Murphy, Georgia needs to spend more money, or Tennessee needs to spend more money, or Oklahoma needs to spend more money. And that's fair. But I'm just telling you, it's unsustainable. We are 2 years away from a $10 million a year quarterback I almost said the NFL, in college football.
The money isn't going to go down. And I like that they've restricted the portal to one window a year. I think you have to do something about being able to transfer every single year.
I agree.
But the money's not the issue. If you're broke, you're broke.
The money is the issue. The money is going to be the issue. Well, then you need to carve out the top 48 teams or 64 teams and put them in a league together and call it professional football and be frickin' done with it. Just be done with it. I mean, it's no longer college, and they stop them going to class. Why are they going to class? Don't get me started, Jackson. Why are they going to class?
They need an education.
Dude, stop it.
Everybody.
Why are we still carrying on this stupid illusion that they give a crap about their education?
Some do.
It's ridiculous. Anyway.
There are a fair amount of players who care about their education.
Well, they can go play at North Dakota State and get an education there. Tennessee's worried about winning some championships, and we need players that are worried about football, not about economics 101 or English. Football. We need players at the University of Georgia that care about down and distance.
And DUIs, the 3 Ds of Georgia.
Football.
Just get me out of here. It's time for the news. I'm sorry, kid. I'm running late. Look at me. I got on a rant.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. Tell you about that snow and ice that may be hitting Middle Tennessee this weekend. President Trump during a near 2-hour White House press briefing telling ABC's Mary Bruce he is confident Greenland will want to be a part of the United States.
You're confident something's going to get worked out in Greenland, but Greenlanders have made it clear they don't want to be part of the U.S.
Well,
what gives the U.S. the right to take away that self-determination?
When I speak to them, I'm sure they'll be thrilled.
More than half a dozen European leaders backing Denmark's response. That is, Greenland is not for sale. Trump has threatened tariffs against them, which violates the EU tariff deal signed last year. Meanwhile, French President Emmanuel Macron suggested to Trump to make use of the Davos Economic Forum and hold an impromptu G7 to discuss alternatives. A federal grand jury, meanwhile, investigating where Minnesota's Democratic leadership interfered with federal law enforcement operations. Subpoenas reportedly sent to the governor's office, Minneapolis mayor, and the attorney general and officials in surrounding counties. And right now in Tennessee, the Tennessean says candidates for governor fanning out across the state collecting signatures to qualify for the August primary. 12 contenders have stepped forward so far, including Tennessee U.S. Senator Marsha Blackburn, Congressman John Rose, Jerry Green, and Carnita Atwater. Blackburn focusing her message on conservative priorities and expanding school vouchers, while Rose is highlighting roads, jobs, health care access, and he wants a debate. Petitions are due March 10th as the field begins to take shape. Tennessee's execution protocol may get a major change after a ruling from Nashville Chancellor Aisha Miles. The Tennessean says she ordered the state to allow reporters to watch the entire execution, not just a brief portion of it. Miles said full visibility is essential for public accountability. The ruling comes ahead of multiple executions planned for this year, the first in May. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Madison, we picked up a crash Gallatin Pike south at Due West Avenue. Old Harding Pike and Poplar Creek Trace in Bellevue. Then in West Mead, a wreck. Charlotte Pike at River Road. Interstates are starting to back up, especially east and westbound South Loop, northbound at 65 to the South Loop, and then eastbound 24 past 440. I'm Ken Weaver.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I have a guy that wants to argue with me on the phone. I got a guy that wants to talk about football, or a girl. I don't know if Terry's a guy or a girl. And then I got a seminar caller on the line. Who do you want to go with first there, Jackson? It's your choice. Jackson Williams will decide the fate of this radio show at 20 minutes until 5 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. We're talking about immigration and customs enforcement. We're talking about the rules of the road. We're talking about illegal immigration and why we have to have rules regarding who gets here and who doesn't. We're talking about Donald Trump's first year in office. We're talking about Iran. We're talking about Greenland. We're talking about snow. Snow. So I'm officially on snowpocalypse. I know. I heard that Nashville's Morning News has attempted to dub it Snowmageddon.
Snowpocalypse.
I think in the afternoon hours on the Matt Murphy show, whatever they're doing the rest of the day, I think we need to go with Snowpocalypse. What do y'all think?
I'm in.
You in?
I'll go with that.
All right, Snowpocalypse 2026 happening this weekend. Where it's I have it on good. I have it. Ken, new reporting in. This just in, man.
This just in.
Hey, can I get an official this just in horn, please? Thank you. Thank you. This just in. We're going to get 18 feet of snow.
Oh, God.
18 feet of snow, according to the Not So National Weather Service, out of my house in Mount Pleasant. 18 feet of snow.
That would be bad.
That would be a lot of snow.
You think the power will go out?
Well, apparently not in Mount Pleasant. I heard good things about Mount Pleasant Electrical on the Super Text line. Joe wants to argue. Hey, Joe.
Yes, sir. I want to argue about Minneapolis and ICE.
Okay.
Matt Murphy, you ever figured out why nobody wants to bother ICE? It's really simple. You know that, right?
Why nobody wants to what?
Why they don't want ICE in Minnesota?
Because they already get it. Because they already get enough of it.
That's a good one. No. See, if you keep ICE in Minnesota and you start deporting all those illegals and all the fraudsters and all the criminals, the Democrats are going to lose about 20% of their funding. They're going to lose several seats in their districts and representation. And, of course, Trump's the bad man. So it's really common sense. You got to hate Trump. You got to hate ICE. And you can't let them do their job. Therefore, you got to be a real American and go out and protest and threaten them with guns and throw ice bottles at them, urine, feces, and everything else you can find. I don't understand why you guys don't understand this yet.
It's all about the money.
Basically, I mean, think about this. If you go back in history, when Kamala decided she was going to pick Tim Walz as her candidate and running mate, they raised, $35 million within 24 hours and broke records with how much money they raised?
A lot of those were Somalian donations, it's my understanding.
Yeah, they went through Act Blue. So if you always follow the money back, this is why ICE is suddenly bad. This is why nobody wants Trump doing his job.
Well,
nobody wants Trump enforcing laws.
It's a grift. It is the greatest grift ever conceived. That if you're an elected official and you have no morals, no ethics, you turn the other way, allow people to grift off of the American government, and you justified in your own mind by saying, well, no one's getting hurt. We're borrowing the money. We're just adding to the national debt. Well, I would recommend that the greatest existential threat that the United States of America faces is the fact that we're $39 trillion in debt. And you borrow money against the good faith and credit of the United States. You hand it out to illegals. You hand it out to whoever wants it through a variety of hoops and programs. And they, in turn, get you reelected. And you gain power, popularity. And in a lot of cases, you turn into a multimillionaire. Ilhan Omar was penniless 4 years ago. And she is worth, by most accounts, $30 million today. How did that happen?
I was seeing a lot of these other. Yeah. I mean, even Marjorie Taylor Greene. I mean, let's not just pick sides. You can go on both sides of the aisle, but predominantly Democrats more than Republicans. But even some of the Republicans, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, is worth $20-30 million more 4 years later after being in office than when she started. I mean, that's it's like Bernie Sanders became rich running for president. It's insane.
It's a mad grift, and we've got to get to the bottom of it. And it's not as if, Joe, people aren't going to howl when we do. Of course they are. We're cutting off the spigot. We're cutting off they're suckling from the government teat, and we're shutting that down. You don't think they're going to complain? Trent is next. Hello, Trent.
How dare you refer to me as a seminar caller? I'm highly offended. I hope I can live up to the high.
That's just what it says on my screen, Trent.
I'll try to live up to the high standard that prior caller just set.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to talk about President Trump's peace board. I've never set up a peace board before, and Matt, I'm not the foreign affairs expert that I know you are, but if you were setting up a peace board, would you invite a guy that invaded another country and was directly responsible for 1 million deaths and rising?
It depends on what my goals are.
What goal could there be for that?
Okay, so
Let me understand.
Hold on, I will. To stop war, to stop the killing. I can't. So let me answer the question honestly. You ask it honestly. Let me answer it honestly. So you asked, why would I do that? Now, I might not do that, but if I were to do that, the justified reason would be I can't help how many have been killed in the past. I can't bring anybody back to life, but I can potentially, if I do this, I can potentially stop any future killing. And if that is on the table, no, you're not asking me about Trump's motivations. You're asking me about me. So I'm answering you for me. So what you're about to do, you're about to say, you honestly believe that that's what he wants to do? Yes, I do. And you might not, but I'm answering the question that you asked. The only reason that I would ever invite someone like Vladimir Putin to be on a peace board is to stop the war and stop the killing. That's my answer.
Right, because Putin's given so many.
Well, I mean, you can agree, you can disagree that that's going to make a difference. Did I not answer your question? Did I not answer your question adequately, Trent?
Pathetically, but yeah, you did.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Wait, no, I'm sorry. What did you want me to say? You asked me, why would I do that? What better reason would it be? You wouldn't? If I told you, you invite Vladimir Putin to the peace board, Trent, okay? You let him be on that board, and he'll stop the war and pull out of Ukraine. That he'll do that. Would you do it?
What if I told you if you were
No. Answer the question, Trent. Answer the question.
Everyone will get free ice. Everyone will get free ice cream for the next 10 years.
No, Trent. If I told you, all you have, Trent.
Do you understand the point I'm making?
I understand that you don't believe Vladimir Putin is a good actor, and that's a valid point. What I'm telling you is that the reason for inviting him is to attempt to stop the war.
Right. If you knew someone who killed 1 million people, and I'm sure like me you don't, but if you did, would you boast about what a great guy they are, how well you got along with them? I don't remember FDR drooling over Hitler and
he drooled over Stalin. He drooled over Stalin, pal.
Yeah, because Stalin was our ally.
Stalin killed millions of people, bud.
Yeah, I get it. No kidding.
So you might want to retract. So that was a bad example. So that was a bad example on your part, probably.
No, it wasn't. Because we had to kill off Nazism.
Excuse me. FDR drooled over a guy that killed millions and millions of people, and you used him as an example of how leaders in America shouldn't drool over leaders who kill millions and millions of people. It makes no sense.
Why does Trump love autocrats so much?
Wait a minute. I thought we were talking about. I thought we were talking about me. Are we talking about Donald Trump, Trent?
why would I want to talk about you?
You asked me what I would do on my peace board. That was your first question. Your second question was, would I befriend a guy and drool over a guy that killed 1 million people? That was your second question. So you were asking me questions about me. I'm asking you, are we changing the subject now?
Yeah, let's change the subject.
Okay, very good. What subject would you like to discuss?
Why does Trump blatantly love all autocrats of the world, other than Maduro, which I'm glad he got rid of? Don't give me the, oh, you're pro-Maduro, right? You're pro-Venezuelan gangs, right? Why does Trump love autocrats so much? That's not the America I remember.
You don't think American presidents have ever loved autocrats? I just gave you an example of one.
Right, and you can give me the example when we teamed up with Saddam Hussein to counter Iran.
Well, I mean, Woodrow Wilson was an autocrat. So, I mean,
times we do. But did anyone exchange love letters with Kim Jong-un? Because Kim Jong-un's a great guy, isn't he? We fell in love. I was really proud to be an American when he declared that. Weren't you, Matt?
So,
And Viktor Orban, we know he's strong and respected. He's also wrecked Hungary's economy. But we love Orban too, right? Forget the fact he's put a lawnmower to Hungary's constitution. He's strong and respected. And remember when...
Wait, hold on. So, are you arguing? No. I just want to get to I don't have all day here for you to be all sarcastic and snarky. So, do you want to go to war with Russia?
No.
Okay. Then tell me, Trent, what your brilliant foreign policy analysis would be as to how we stop the war in Ukraine.
Us and NATO give Ukraine what they need.
Wait.
And we continue to put it's the price we pay.
Wait a minute. So you do want to go to war? So that you do want to go to the war with Russia?
It could end up that way, but not necessarily.
See, because the way that you answered it, I thought you didn't, but now you do. Because in order for NATO and America to give Ukraine what they need, we need to give them American men. And you're willing to do, and you want to do that?
No, we don't.
They need human beings to fight. Come on, they need human beings to win the war, dude.
And they're fighting a country that needs people from Africa and North Korea to fight their war. Yeah, the Russians have.
Once again, I'm just asking you for your brilliant foreign policy commentary on what exactly we should do, rather than continuing to attempt to sanction and negotiate with Russia out of the war with Ukraine.
Right, because Donnie will end it on day one. I forgot. I just told you what we should do, didn't I?
Well, he didn't start it. Your boy Joe Biden started it, sadly.
Yes, I know. Yup, that's right. And he's not my boy. Why do you think I'm a Democrat? Have I said anything liberal today? In fact, standing up against autocracy and standing...
You're funny. Call me every day, man. I love it. I love it. You're good.
I know because if you're not in the cult, therefore you're a Democrat, right?
No. You're a liberal. I don't know if you're a Democrat, but you're certainly a liberal.
What? Tell me one liberal thing I've ever said to you. One.
What's your real name?
All I tell you is
what's your real name?
Trent.
You're a liar. You're a liar. That's evidence number one that you're a liberal. You're a liar. Trent's not your real name. Trent's not your. Come on, buddy. Wait, no. What? No, you lied. We're talking about you. We're not talking about Donald Trump. We're not talking about Matt Murray. We're talking about you. Right. You are a liar. Tell me. And I don't let liars on the show. I mean, you were doing so well until then, and you don't have to lie. I just asked you what your real name was, and you demonstrated how easily you're willing to lie in order to accomplish your goals. That is tip number one for me, that you are a leftist. Is that you're willing to lie and compromise your own morality in order to achieve your goals. 615-737-9986. It's The Murphy Show. Hey, friends, it's Matt Murphy for Grace Point Healthcare. Grace Point Healthcare is modern medicine delivered the old-fashioned way. What does that mean? I say that a lot. It's a great slogan, and it's true because they believe in the most modern advancements in medical health, and they're going to give you that medical help when you stop by their office in Franklin. They're located in Franklin, in the heart of that town, and convenient to anywhere within the sound of my voice. And frankly, it is worth the drive. And I'm going to give you the telephone number to schedule that appointment in a moment. The old-fashioned way, that means that your doctor-patient relationship is very, very important, and they price it accordingly. And you can file with your insurance company for reimbursement after the fact. But the bottom line is this: they don't allow the insurance company to dictate medical decisions that ought to be made by your doctor. That's the old-fashioned part, right? And you can apply with your HSA account for the Smart Care Plan, meaning that you pay $99 a month for adults, $79 a month for kids, and you get in unlimited office visits throughout the course of the year, and that includes free basic labs and diagnostics. Friends, you need Grace Point Healthcare. It's the way I do it. I believe that you should do it as well. It's exceptional and affordable medicine at your convenience. 599-6868. 599-6868.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. And at the White House press briefing today, President Trump handled it all, nearly 2 hours. He mentioned his desire to acquire Greenland, didn't answer directly if his actions to acquire the Danish territory would lead to the dissolvement of NATO.
President Trump isn't backing off his call for the U.S. to acquire Greenland, with pushback growing from European leaders. Asked today how far he was willing to go to secure Greenland, the president would only say, quote, "You'll find out." He said he had many meetings scheduled at the World Economic Forum in Davos this week, and even indicated there would be an agreement between the U.S. and NATO allies on Greenland, but he wouldn't say more.
I think something's going to happen that's going to be very good for everybody. Nobody's done more for NATO than I have, as I said before, in every way.
Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Meanwhile, Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison, Governor Tim Walz, and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey have been subpoenaed as part of a Justice Department investigation into possible obstruction of federal immigration officers. Walz and Frey say the federal government's escalating politically motivated attacks on Minnesota officials. Right now in Tennessee, reporters could be allowed to witness the full duration of executions in the state. The Tennessean says the order comes from Nashville Chancellor Aisha Miles, who says greater access strengthens public trust. The ruling requires the Department of Correction to keep the viewing area open until the inmate is pronounced dead. This would take effect as the state approaches its next round of scheduled executions starting in May. And the race to replace Governor Bill Lee heating up as major candidates pick up their qualifying petitions. The Tennessean says Senator Marsha Blackburn and Congressman John Rose both launched active signature drives this month, joined by Democrat Jerry Green and others. Blackburn says she'll work closely with the Trump administration and expand a private school choice, while Rose is pushing for debates and stronger investment in infrastructure. Voters will make their first decisions in the August 6th primary. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Right now, it is heaviest. Eastbound 24 past 440. I mean, you're coming to complete stops there trying to get home. We do have a crash reported by police, 65 northbound there at Trinity Lane. I'm Ken Weaver.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Matt Murphy and the Matt Murphy Radio Show. We continue. Thank you for being around with us. Whatever time you're able to give us, we're certainly appreciative of that. We've had a lively 2 hours on this Tuesday edition thus far. Hopefully, we'll keep the last 2 hours as lively as possible as well. You're always welcome to liven it up by making a call. 615-737-9986. 615-737-9986. You can call us. You can also super text us. We would love to hear from you in either of those formats, call or super text. You can also email the show. You can find me online on all the social medias at Matt Murphy Show, Matt Murphy Show. I think I'm on Instagram, Matt Murphy Show. I think I'm on, Matt Murphy or Matt Murphy Show on the Facebook. And then, of course, the X Machine. I love the X Machine. It is an absolute cesspool with garbage people spewing garbage, and I just wallow around in it from time to time. Find us there at Matt Murphy Show. So leftists, let's just be as plain as we can. The political left are openly pro-illegal immigration now. They're openly pro-illegal alien. They are actively and openly siding with illegal aliens. I'm not suggesting that they have not done this in the past, but at the very least, they hit it. They're actively fighting, including fighting in the streets, anyone and everyone who disagrees with them based on the rule of law, including law enforcement. So they believe in, quote unquote, democracy because they regularly tell us this is what democracy looks like, but they do not believe in the rule of law. Do I have this correct? Do I have any of this wrong? And if you disagree with them, if you suggest that it is impermissible to disrupt a house of worship to engage in your protest, a house of worship that is ultimately on private property, then Don Lemon will assure you that you are a white supremacist, despite the fact that in that very house of worship that was disrupted over the weekend, that there were all manner of different types of people there, many of whom were not white and sure as hell weren't supremacist. So just to catch you up, and I'll give Stephen L. Miller credit on this. He is Red Sneeze on social media. Great follow. A protest group in Minneapolis, Minnesota, chased 2 innocent people out of a diner who had done nothing. A protest group attacked an innocent guy on the street who was actually a part of their group, but they didn't believe him because he was dressed wrong. They harassed a guy with an SUV and demanded to see his identification to confirm because he said he lived in the area, and they demanded to see his papers so that they could ascertain whether or not he lived in the area. Otherwise, they were going to beat him up, I suppose. They blocked an innocent guy because of his rental car plates, because his rental car plates were from somewhere else. They stormed into a church service over the weekend. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 examples of these quote unquote law-abiding people. And in the midst of all of that, no police officers stop it. No Minneapolis police officers stop it. Can you imagine living in the midst of that? Simply wanting to go home or believing differently than these individuals? Let me ask you to imagine another hypothetical. Can you imagine what would happen if I, along with 50 of my good friends, stormed into an African-American church this weekend and disrupted services, screaming, "Make America Great Again," and describing it as a legitimate form of protest? Can you imagine? Can you imagine what would happen if me and 50 of my buddies stormed into a mosque talking about making America great again, or some form of, supporting Israel, or some other form of policy proposal, screaming down with Hamas? Can you imagine what would happen? Yet, these insane leftists in the United States of America believe that it's appropriate to storm into a church service and scream and yell and disrupt the services. And they justify it by saying, oh, it's a legitimate protest. We have free speech rights. Don Lemon led that charge. You know, this Don Lemon, you got me up over there. This Don Lemon who got schooled by this woman some time ago about whether or not it's illegal to come into the country of the United States of America without proper documentation.
Okay, crossing the border illegally is not a crime?
No, it's not a criminal act. Okay. It's a misdemeanor.
So why are they being sent back and saying that they're breaking the law?
By the way, misdemeanors are crimes.
That's the point.
Okay, as somebody that actually...
We don't know if they're breaking the law because they won't tell. There's no due process. Where's the evidence? That's the whole point. And if they are breaking the law, most people will say, okay, then they need to go. If they're...
Okay, they are breaking the law. They're breaking the law by coming into the United States of America. And the remedy, you know, he calls it a misdemeanor. In some cases, it's felonious. The remedy is removal from the United States of America and return to your country.
Criminals. But if they're not, why are they being rounded up and sent out, especially when he promised to deport the criminals? And now he's not doing that.
Yeah, I don't think
he is deporting the criminals. Kristi Noem had the data over the weekend. 70% of those who are have been returned have had an additional criminal record in addition to coming into the United States of America illegally.
Misdemeanor is not a crime. Yeah. So misdemeanor is not
it's
a crime?
It's not a criminal act, no. If you get charged with a misdemeanor, that's not a criminal act.
So why get charged at all then, if it's not a criminal act?
Because we have different levels of crime. Everything is not the same.
So it is crime.
No,
it's just
we
different
have different levels of. I shouldn't say crime, but it's not. It's not a crime. You're not breaking the law.
This guy is such a moron. So he started out, and there's a guy off camera. If you're watching on Super Talk TV, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Rumble, you can see there's a guy off camera saying what I said. A misdemeanor is a crime too. Well, it's not a crime. I mean, and then he starts fumbling all over himself trying to explain what he means. It's a level of crime. So it is a crime. You just said it wasn't a crime, you jerk.
Everything is not the same.
So it is crime.
No,
it's just
we
different
have different levels of. I shouldn't say crime, but it's not. It's not a crime. You're not breaking the law. I mean, you are breaking the law, but it's not a criminal act. No, you're not breaking the law.
A misdemeanor is not breaking the law.
No.
If you're speeding, drinking, get pulled over, DUI.
That's not a criminal act. Well, no, if you're speeding is a misdemeanor.
It's a misdemeanor.
Right.
That's a criminal act.
Okay, well, if you want to qualify that, we're doing semantics. But what I'm trying to tell you is everything is not the same. It's all not one thing.
But is it the law?
My goodness gracious, Don Lemon is being schooled by a rando on the street.
What is it? The law that what?
Is it a law to come over legally? Is there a law?
There are rules processes that you should follow. Yeah, so you're breaking rules. You're breaking the rules, but you're not necessarily breaking a law.
So what happens when you break the rules?
Then you suffer the consequences. But the consequences should not. Look, no one is saying no one should suffer the consequences. You guys are getting things mixed.
See, this guy. One of the reasons I want to play this clip, he asks at the end of the clip, he asks the two questions that I think you should ask every liberal, and they have no answer for it. Don Lemon has no answer for this. So it's a rule. Should there be rules? Okay, there should be rules. There are rules. What happens when you break them? And Don Lemon says, well, you should suffer the consequences, but the consequences should be. Don't tell me what the consequences should or should not be. If you want to change what the consequences are, go to the Congress of the United States of America and change that. There's a process for that. You dope? But he started off with going, it's not against the law to come into the country illegally. And he ended with, well, there should be consequences, but the consequences shouldn't be what they are. And these are two random people on the streets schooling Don Lemon, and good for them. Missy is up next, wants to talk. Jeff, I missed you in Indiana there. I apologize. Missy, what's going on?
Hey, Matt, so good to talk to you. Just two things. First of all, I am hoping beyond hope that this whole situation is a setup for Donald Trump to bring about the Insurrection Act. That is what I'm hoping, that he is pulling back just enough so that he has a constitutional standing to pull the Insurrection Act on Minnesota and some of all this stuff that's going on. That's just a thought. And I'd love to know your thoughts on that. And then the second thing, I laugh when I think about even talking to these people because they wouldn't talk back because they have no valid argument for anything that they ever say. So for us to even try to bring up a legitimate point would be ridiculous. But I would love to ask Don Lemon if I came into his house at nighttime, like if I just came off the street and I was scared of the dark and I was alone alone on the street and I just came into his house, what's any different? Like how would he argue? Would he tell me, oh, you can stay with me and just live for me and live off the dole, live off of my income? Or like, what would he do if it was brought down to a personal level? That's what's so crazy to me is that, if we start asking them on a personal level.
Well, there are a lot of the man on the street interviews that I've seen over the last several years where reporters will ask leftists, are you willing to take some of these people into your home? And there's always an excuse. There's always an excuse.
Yes, always.
They will never do that because they don't care. When they feel better about themselves in some way. I suppose that there's an emotional tug that they feel that's a positive when they feel like they're helping the least of these. They don't want to suggest. They don't want to believe that there have to be rules. They don't want to believe that many of these people are bad human beings that want to do bad things to citizens of the United States of America.
So then we should pass. Then we should pass laws. We should try to pass a law that they get to like. That if they're so inclined and so empathetic to a criminal, maybe we can let that be part of the criminal's rehab to have to go with one of these people that is so, empathetic towards them and see what it's like to live with one of these criminals. Just like somebody that burns the American flag and basically hates America and sits there and does nothing but shame us, wants to go live in, a third world country. Well, let's let's pass a law that there you go. We'll send you right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's part of your consequence.
Well,
that's what they want.
And getting into the psychology of a leftist is dangerous. But what I have ascertained, Missy, is that they don't care about equitable treatment. They have decided emotionally that their position is morally superior to mine and to yours.
Right.
And because they have decided that, they don't care whether you're treated the same. They don't care whether the laws apply to you. They don't care whether they disrupt your rights to worship or your right to free speech. And they don't care what laws they violate to achieve what they consider to be the morally superior outcome. Now, I would obviously argue against that, but I think that's the basic psychology of your emotionally charged, logic-free leftist. That because they've decided that they're morally right, they can do anything they want, regardless of who it hurts or what laws they disrupt. As far as the Insurrection Act goes, I would say that Donald Trump, my reading of the Insurrection Act, I mean, it's been invoked on many separate occasions all across America's history. I think the last time was in 1992, George Herbert Walker Bush in the aftermath of the Rodney King verdict. Donald Trump has every right and every latitude to invoke the Insurrection Act, and he could do it today if he wanted to. Yeah. Now, he understands what the media is going to do with that. He understands how he might lose some people as a result of that. So it is very possible that you're right, that he's allowing the situation to maybe not escalate, but he's allowing it to simmer in its own fashion. Yes. And he is watching to see if there's an increased demand locally in a federal presence outside of the Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers that are there.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting.
It will be.
But thanks for having me on.
Of course. Thank you for coming. Missy, it's always
have a great night.
You do too. Always a pleasure talking with you. We'll get to Jeff in a moment in Indiana. Your calls as well, 615-737-9986, 9871. You're right. Morality is very subjective, which is why offering a moral foundation as a basic premise for law is oftentimes very, very flawed. Our government should not act as, well, our government should act as a protector of individual rights. They should not act as the morality police. Now, we as a society govern ourselves in that fashion, but we should not insist that we put force behind that self-governance through laws. Does that make sense to everyone? That is not to say that we should not try to comport ourselves in a moral fashion and that we are within our rights to excoriate or exclude those that do not. That's just basic society. But when you begin passing laws declaring that one section of your society is morally superior to another for this reason or that reason, that's when you start running into trouble. It's 22 after the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy for Efficient Heating and Cooling. Roger is going to be at my house tomorrow morning because as pleased as we've been with the brand new house, we have a little bit of an issue with the upper heater on the upper level of the home, and it's causing us some consternation and frustration, especially with the cold weather. But Jeff Eddy and Efficient Heating and Cooling, so quick, so good. They want to fix what ails my system. They understand that I want to get the maximum life. That unit was put in 2016, so it's got 9 years on it, almost 10 years on it. But I feel like it's got a few more years to it. And I don't want to have to replace it if I don't have to. And Jeff Eddy, Roger, and the rest of the team, they get that. So Roger will be out working hard to make sure that we get maximum life out of my heating unit. And they do the same for you in these cold weather conditions. They try to turn it around as quickly as possible. I called this morning, and I got an appointment for tomorrow morning. And that's not because I'm Matt Murphy. That's because I'm a customer of Efficient Heating and Cooling. They do that for everyone. So give a call if it comes down to it. They're busy, but they're never too busy for you. 615-784-4424. They're going to get over as quickly as possible and fix your unit as inexpensively as possible. EfficientHVAC.net. That's EfficientHVAC.net, an Elite Pro partner with Rheem.
We'll let you hear some of what President Trump said during a near 2-hour White House press briefing on his first year in office of his second term, coming up at 5:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Nincompoops in the news on the way in about 10 minutes or so. No nincompoops yesterday, so we've got a 4-day week. Jackson and I decided to split the trophy, which is probably a mistake. Well, we split the crown and the trophy. Ken wants to reunite them.
Yeah, I do.
And he's going to begin that endeavor, that march toward victory.
Yes, sir.
Coming up at 5:38.
We have some small business to attend to.
With regard to nincompoops?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to do that then or now?
Well, let's do it now.
Okay.
If me and you tie this week, or if one of us ties with Ken,
yeah,
the trophy goes.
Yeah, we made the mistake of trying to be magnanimous and trying to split it. We should have done some sort of tiebreaker vote.
Now
because we got to subdivide it. We got to subdivide it again, and now it's Harry Potter and Horcruxes, and we're splitting our souls in half. I don't know what we're doing.
Maybe we need NIL.
We do need some. I need some NIL nincompoops.
I've declared myself last week's winner, and here's why. Let me make my case here.
All right, Brother Jackson.
I saw a super texter text in and say we should go with the best story of the week as the tiebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Wang Fang last week was the best story of the week.
I thought it was Fang Wang.
Fang Wang.
You're starting to sound like Don Lemon here. That some rando decides that you should do something, and such, and you're just going to do it because some rando decided that it was a good idea, and it benefits you.
How would you do it?
Well, I would default to whose name's on the show.
You see, that's not fair.
What do you mean that's not fair?
This is a fair and adjudicated way to do the...
Are you going to list the stories that we do every day? Because the problem is I can't remember what I did 10 minutes ago.
Me either.
Me either. But I do remember Wang Fang.
Fang Wang.
Sorry.
Don't stop talking about his Fang Wang, please. Kid.
Is it Wang Fang or Fang Wang?
I thought it was Fang Wang.
I don't know. I don't know what the hell we're talking about. I kind of do, but... All right, we'll figure it out. I have all faith that either you or Ken will win outright this week, and we won't have to worry about it. I don't think there'll be any ties. Danny and Jeff will get to you in moments. Right now, it's time for the news on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
.30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. National Weather Service says at least 6 inches of snow possible this weekend. And then on top of that, ice. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. President Trump, during a near 2-hour White House press briefing on his first year in office of his second term, mentioned his desire to acquire Greenland. Didn't answer directly if his actions to acquire the Danish territory would lead to a dissolvement of NATO.
I think something's going to happen that's going to be very good for everybody. Nobody's done more for NATO than I have, as I said before, in every way.
Meanwhile, Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison, Governor Tim Walz, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey have been subpoenaed as part of a Justice Department investigation into possible obstruction of federal immigration officers. U.S. Border Patrol Commander-at-Large Gregory Bovino says they're refusing to allow state and city police to help.
They've got some excellent communications, and that coupled with a very poor response from the mayor and the governor, those two things coupled together make that a difficult operating environment at times.
Walz and Frey say the federal government is escalating politically motivated attacks on Minnesota officials. Right now in Tennessee, the Tennessean says Nashville Chancellor Aisha Miles has expanded media access to the state's execution process. Her ruling requires full visibility for witnesses throughout the procedure. Miles said transparency is critical as the state carries out the death penalty. This decision comes month before the next execution on Tennessee's calendar, which is in May. Election 2026. The 2026 governor's race officially underway as candidates begin gathering petition signatures. The Tennessean says Republican Senator Marsha Blackburn, Congressman John Rose, State Rep Monty Fritz among those launching their campaigns, along with several Democratic and independent contenders. And election 2027, Nashville Councilmember Joy Stiles has officially announced she's running for mayor. She becomes the first candidate to enter the race, setting the stage early. Stiles says Nashville needs, quote, a fighter, points to her record of what she calls inclusive leadership. She currently represents District 32 in Antioch. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Heaviest traffic right now is east and westbound 40 between downtown and the eastern split. I mean, you're coming to complete stop. Same goes for eastbound 24 once you get past 440. In Madison, police reporting a crash, Old Hickory Boulevard at Gallatin Pike. And now in Antioch, we picked up an accident. They've got it on the left shoulder, 24 eastbound at Haywood Lane. Talbot's Corner, a crash, 65 northbound at Trinity Lane. I'm Ken Weaver.
The listeners have come up with a solution for you, Jackson, and I'll tell you what that solution is in just a moment after I tell you about a solution for any and all of your European automobile needs, and it comes in the form of Eurofix. Aaron Stokes started Eurofix in, 26 years ago, and they're a place where they're clean as a pin. The service areas are spotless because they care about everything from how you're treated to how your vehicle's treated. Every repair comes with a rock-solid 3-year, 36,000-mile nationwide warranty on all repairs Eurofix performs and at below dealer pricing. You don't have to put up with dealer prices or get ghosted when you are waiting on a callback. Eurofix fixes everything European, plus a rental car is available at every appointment. Locations in Nashville, Franklin, Belmead, Murfreesboro, and Mount Juliet. 844-EUROFIX. That's 844-EUROFIX. Or online at myEurofix.com. MyEurofix.com for our friends at Eurofix. Hello, my name is Matt Murphy, and this is the Matt Murphy Radio Show on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I can't hear a single thing anyone's saying or what's going on the radio because I'm wearing my snazzy crown. Here's the problem. I can't wear my snazzy crown and wear my headphones at the same time.
Yeah.
How did Ken Weaver overcome this?
Hey, you put your headphones on. You put your the crown on top of your headphones.
Oh, see, I'm wearing my headphones upside down like I've got a fancy beard. See? How about
Matt,
that?
will you do something for me?
What's that?
Yo, I'm Ken Weaver into the microphone.
I'm Ken Weaver. Foosball. Here's something I haven't heard. Here's something I never hear Ken Weaver say a lot. It's 5:30 on the dot. I'm so sorry. Hold on, I got to take this. Let me tell you something. The Wellness Institute of Nashville is responsible for providing the crown and the trophy for our weekly Nincompoop in the News winner. And we are very, very appreciative. I don't want what I'm about to say to come off as unappreciative because, Ken, you know this because you've worn the crown.
Yes, sir.
Jackson, you've never had the privilege.
I've worn the crown.
Have you?
I was the inaugural winner.
Oh, I don't really. Was that way back in the olden times of 20 and 25? So, okay, fine. You can participate in this too. It'll get you. It'll cut you.
Yeah.
It'll hurt. I mean, now I understand the weight of the world is on the king that wears the crown. And I kind of get why, because, a wrong move and you cut your head.
Yeah, Dr. Mitch wasted no expense in this.
I mean,
that's a real crown.
This is a real crown. This is not a plastic piece of nothing. I mean, these are gems in here.
I mean, he might have gone on a trip somewhere and stole it from an actual king.
Whoa. King of Greenland.
Well, nobody tell Trump he'll come down and get it. Donald Trump would have this thing in a heartbeat if we did that.
Gave him some of those awesome treatments in exchange for the crown.
Maybe so. I'm going to have to go to see Dr. Mitch here pretty soon and get some of those awesome treatments, by the way. I wrenched my back, boys. I did. I got a lot of books. I love my books.
Yes,
and they're going to look great in the house, but good gracious, books are heavy.
They're heavy.
I'll tell you what. I asked Josh with the moving company, I used all my sons moving, and I'm not getting paid to say that. I wouldn't lie to you if I did get paid to say it, but anyway, they were great. They were fabulous. But I asked Josh, who was the team leader, I said, y'all must love folks who like books. And he gave me a funny look. And he goes, books will break your back.
I bet you they like folks with pianos.
Well,
and big old safes.
Yeah, that's why I have a piano now. Right. I've got a baby grand piano. I don't play piano. I got a baby grand piano. Anybody want to come over and play my baby grand piano? I got a baby grand piano. You know why? Because the lady that owned the house before me did not want to move to the baby grand piano. That's why.
She said, there you go. There's free piano.
Yep. Free piano. Just for you. Hey, Jeff, we'll get to you, Danny, you as well, but it is time. It's 42 after the hour. Let's do some Nincompoops in the news.
Nincompoops in the news.
I think I won on Friday. I think that's how we eventually tied it up. And so that means I get to pick. Remember, 2026 rules, the winner gets to select who goes first, second, and last on any given day. And let us hope that we don't have another tie so that we have to try to figure out how to subdivide the crown and the trophy. We need to bring these back together. You know what I feel like we've done here, Weaver? This will, you'll get this reference. Jackson, you not so much because you're a newbie. You're still wet behind the ears. Remember when they had all those different heavyweight championships back in the 1980s? Yeah. They had everybody was a heavyweight champion.
UAW XL.
Oh, yeah. All these, and then Mike Tyson had to come along and whoop everybody.
Yeah.
And he became the unified heavyweight champion of the world.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to whoop everybody this week and unify these.
You're going to pull a Mike Tyson on us.
I'm going to pull a Mike Tyson on you. Jackson, you get to go first.
Let's see your best Evander Holyfield there, Brother Jackson.
I'm going first?
Yes, Jackson, you're going first. Correct.
Man arrested.
That's a nice trophy, by the way.
I can't see it on camera. My camera's out.
Aw.
That's what I've been working on over here.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
Well, I'll take it.
Well,
for you.
if you want Ken to go first, and you get the camera going. We need to see that trophy.
The cameras, it's not a thing I can fix in this segment.
Well, then go ahead and take care of business.
All right.
You sound very happy about all this.
I'm not, because I have my trophy for the first time, and I can't show it off. I can't brag. I can't do nothing.
Oh, by the way, before I forget about it, the way that we're going to handle any ties down the road, we're going to handle ties.
I'm going to hit you with the trophy and keep it.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Rock, paper. Whoa! It's not rock, paper, scissors, bird.
Rock, paper, scissors, woodpecker.
Oh, that's a brick. All right, go.
All right. Man arrested for walking naked in street claims he was covered in spiders. This is out of Madisonville, Kentucky, the Madisonville Police Department. Officials say a man is in jail after he was found completely naked walking in the street on Monday.
Who had that? This is not a nincompoop. This is just a guy.
According to a police report, officials were dispatched to the area of West Broadway and Kentucky Street in reference to an indecent exposure report. Officials say police eventually found the perpetrator, later identified as James Daniels, completely naked, carrying a pair of jeans and his underwear. Daniels told police he took his clothes off because he got covered in brown recluse spiders.
Covered.
Fiddlebacks.
When police asked him where he was going, he told officers that he didn't know because the devil had not told him yet. After being taken into custody and placed in the back of a squad car, Daniels said he was on fire and the devil was yelling in his ear. Officials say it appeared that he was under the influence of an unknown intoxicating substance.
You think?
Daniels was booked into the Hopkins County Jail and faces the following charges: indecent exposure and public intoxication by a controlled substance. Can't look at that picture. Doesn't he look innocent?
Goodness.
That's too bad.
That poor fella.
Hey, Ken, if you tell me where your story's from, I'll tell you who gets to go next.
Mine's from Nashville.
All right, you get to go next.
All right. Man charged with stalking South Nashville teen. Channel 2 says a 53-year-old man was stalking a 16-year-old girl in South Nashville. According to court documents, Christopher Turner began stalking the victim in the Bakertown neighborhood back in July. During the initial incident, the victim heard her dogs barking and looked out the window to see Turner standing in the woods. She told investigators they made eye contact, and that scared her. She left the room. Turner reportedly stole her bike and left the property. Metro Police reported Turner was arrested for misdemeanor theft of property on July 14th. All right. Fast forward to last week, or the week before last. On January 8th, the victim received a letter at her home from Turner, who was housed at the Davidson County Detention Facility on Harding Place. Investigators reviewed the letter, which reportedly detailed how Turner just can't stop thinking about the victim.
Oh, no.
How he felt like he knew her and that he wanted to give her a special name.
Oh, no.
Both the victim and her father reportedly told authorities they didn't know Turner and have never met him before. The victim told investigators seeing Turner in July and getting a 2-page letter expressing how he thinks of her made her terrified, which sucks. News 2 went to the home and spoke with family members who said they did not want to speak about the ordeal that scared the girl. Turner has been charged with felony aggravated stalking, which carries a bond of $40,000. He remains housed in the Davidson County Detention Facility. Court records show Turner was arrested for sexual battery in October of last year. This dude needs to stay behind bars.
Yes. Yes. He can engage in his level of nincompoopery in the Davidson County lockup.
Yes, sir.
I would agree with that wholeheartedly. My story, nincompoop number 3, and the big winner for today, comes from Beaumont, Texas.
Uh-oh. Yeah, that's a good place for it.
A woman is accused of twisting a loss prevention officer in a sensitive area to escape with Hershey's chocolate and feminine pads. According to KFDM, 40-year-old Kari Oltz stole 2 bags of Hershey's chocolates and feminine pads, feminine hygiene product, Tuesday night at a store in Beaumont, Texas. Beaumont police said a loss prevention officer attempted to stop Altz on her way out to her car, but she proceeded to push the officer, and then she grabbed him. She also allegedly lunged at a manager. According to KFDM and the arrest report obtained, afterwards, Altz exited the vehicle and grabbed the asset protection personnel by his left nipple.
I thought it was going to be something worse.
I did too. Grab, twist, and pull. And then grabbed him by his left nipple and twisted it. Ow! Causing him to feel pain. Men, this lady gave that poor loss prevention officer a titty twister.
Yes, sir.
Altz was charged with robbery. She also had outstanding warrants for previous theft offenses. Her bond is set at $75,000. The items allegedly stolen by Altz amounted to $16.21.
Goodness gracious.
Got him by the old nipple. Gave him the old purple nurple. Oh, yeah, just old school. Just get up to the television and change those channels.
She probably needed one of those products, but thought to herself, while I'm at it, let's grab a couple of Hershey's.
It's my...
I think it's the other way around, Ken.
I was going to say.
She
needed some chocolate and decided, well, I'm at it. The old Hershey's tampons. Where's Tim Walls when you need him? That's how we play Nincompoops in the News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Vote Weaver.
I would vote for Matt Murphy if I were you. Matt Murphy wears the crown well, I think, and you're invited to vote Murphy. Only vote for people that you can see on your television right now on Super Talk TV, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, or Rumble.
Vote for me.
I do have to admit that Kentucky story's good.
That's a pretty good story. I don't think
Son of a biscuit eater.
I don't think it beats that old titty twister, though. Can I say that on the radio?
Well, you just did, brother.
Twice. We'll get to your calls momentarily. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Friends, Dr. Mitchell and the Wellness Institute of Nashville, obviously they sponsor Nincompoops in the News, and we appreciate that. They do so because they brought us a beautiful trophy and an awesome crown. But more importantly, they help you heal the pain that you've been going through for I don't know how long. If you've been in pain for a while, let's make 2026 the year that we get to the bottom of it without having to pop pills, without having to worry about needle injections. Let's do this the right way by calling the Wellness Institute of Nashville. I know I made the switch to Dr. Mitch, and I encourage you to do that as well. They have the brand new HydroWave technology, which is pretty cool. It stimulates your very own stem cells in your body to regenerate tissues, to grow new blood vessels for a healing process that is called angiogenesis. Bottom line, it works, and the only place that you can find it is at the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Plus, ask them about their 47% off non-surgical spinal decompression for the new year. 47% off. That's right. It's kind of the son of the Big Daddy Trump special in 2026. Bottom line is this, friends. If you're in pain, it can be debilitating. I know well what I'm talking about because I had lower back pain for years, and I solved it through spinal decompression at the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Go to the Wellness Institute's website, painisbad.com. That's painisbad.com, or call them 615-246-5009, 246-5009.
Here's some of what President Trump said today during a near 2-hour White House press briefing marking his first year of his second term. That's coming up at 6 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Looking forward to that. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Jackson for the win? What? Matt Murphy, Jackson, Matt Murphy. TB says, I'm conflicted. Jackson's story was the best, but the man was not really a nincompoop. He obviously suffers from a pretty serious mental challenge. You know, I thought about that, but here's the deal, y'all. If we excluded people with mental issues from nincompoops,
I'd be out of a job.
We would no longer have nincompoops, right?
And maybe they're getting the help they need.
And we hope.
Yes,
we
sir.
hope.
We do.
That all stories turn. It's really the one rule of nincompoops in the news is nobody can die.
Yeah, that's.
Except you break that rule.
I broke it once.
You've broken it a couple of times.
I broke it twice. I broke it on a couple of. I never won because everybody always DQ'd me.
Yeah, because you can't die.
Because you can't die. It's kind of the opposite of the Darwin Award. You know the Darwin Awards?
Yes, feats and
the Darwin Awards, somebody has to die.
Yeah,
because that's the only way to improve the species. 58 after the hour. Jeff's been holding in Indiana. Jeff, thanks for your patience. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, Matt, but you kind of disappoint me.
Why is that?
Well, Ketanji Jackson is not a biologist, and Don Lemon is not a lawyer. So you're going to have to quit holding liberals to conservative standards. I mean, come on, man.
I suppose so.
Yeah.
True that.
But what I was wanting to talk about is this thing in Minnesota. I think that these people that, inciting all these riots, these politicians and everything, should be charged with treason. I mean, because they're trying to keep these illegal aliens, which are foreigners, and I guarantee that there's some of them that are foreign enemies, as far as from being here, there, and yonder. So if we can take 34 misdemeanors and trump them up to 34 felonies for Trump, I think we can surely get some, treason convictions for all these politicians up there that's going against basically working against the United States.
Well, I hear you, and I just want charges of any sort against these individuals. I hope that the people that went into the church, for example, over the weekend are all charged with disrupting a worship service. But as far as the treason goes, Jeff, I'm not against you. I'm with you. But my grandpa used to have a saying. You ready?
Uh-huh.
Wish in one hand and go number two in the other and see which one gets full first. We're not going to get treason. We're not going to get treason charges out of these folks, and we're just not. We can want to all we want, but there are any number of legal hurdles that we would have to go over. Just charge them with something. Charge them with disrupting law enforcement. Charge them with disrupting a worship service. There's plenty to charge them with. It's 6 o'clock on Super Talk.
Six o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Now we're talking at least 6 inches of snow this weekend. Then on top of that, some freezing rain, at least the potential of all that. We'll tell you more during the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. At the White House press briefing today, President Trump claimed federal agents have arrested tens of thousands of criminals. He also addressed anti-ICE protesters.
Minnesota, the crime is incredible. The financial crimes are incredible. And the problem is because of the agitators and insurrectionists, whatever you want, troublemakers, but they're paid agitators and insurrectionists.
The new federal investigation into Minnesota elected officials is ramping up with the issuance of grand jury subpoenas, as we hear from ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
Officials say the subpoenas have been served on the Minnesota governor, the state's attorney general, the mayors of Minneapolis and St. Paul, and the county prosecutors for both cities. Sources say the investigation centers around whether those Democratic elected officials have been obstructing federal law enforcement. Governor Tim Walz calls it a partisan distraction, and he says neither he nor his state will be intimidated into silence.
Right now in Tennessee, Tennessee's execution protocol may get a major change after a ruling from Nashville Chancellor Aisha Miles. The Tennessean says she ordered the state to allow reporters to watch the entire execution, not just a brief portion of it. Miles said full visibility is essential for public accountability. The ruling comes ahead of multiple executions planned in 2026, the first one in May. Election 2026, the Tennessean says candidates for governor are fanning out across the state, collecting signatures to qualify for the August primary. 12 contenders have stepped forward so far, including U.S. Senator Marsha Blackburn, Congressman John Rose, Jerry Green, Carnita Atwater. Senator Blackburn focusing her message on conservative priorities and expanding school vouchers, while Congressman Rose highlighting roads, jobs, health care access, and he wants a debate. Petitions are due March 10th as the field begins to take shape. Election 2027, Metro Council member Joy Stiles is launching a campaign for mayor in 2027. Her announcement makes her the earliest candidate to step into the race. Stiles says she's running to advocate for neighborhoods and bring her leadership experience citywide. She has served District 32 in Antioch since 2019. And Metro Council set to decide tonight whether to move forward with a $15 million public safety grant aimed at boosting security in downtown Nashville. Here's Mayor Freddie O'Connell on Fox 17 addressing critics who think the money would be used too much on surveillance rather than root causes of crime and public safety challenges.
We're continuing to solicit feedback, but I will say I think the focus on downtown safety from organizations that have not nearly invested the resources on understanding the safety context. We want to hear those voices, but we also want to make sure that everyone understands the context of how different downtown safety environment is from other parts of the city.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, the slowest traffic getting home right now is eastbound 24, just past I-440. We do have a wreck in Bellevue, Highway 70 South, just west of I-40. Police in Madison reporting a wreck Old Hickory Boulevard at Gallatin Pike. I'm Ken Weaver.
Man, oh man, CNN is trash. I repeat, CNN is trash. I'll tell you why I say that at 6:07 on a Tuesday, Jan 20th, 2026, coming up in just a moment. As I say, CNN is trash on my social media platform. You can watch the video for yourself as I have just posted it. It is from last night, where who's this? John Berman was sitting in for Abby Phillips on that nightly show that Scott Jennings is a part of so much. I probably watch that show more than anything else I watch on #NeverCNN. Now, I watch a good bit of #NeverCNN. Why? Because I watch so you don't have to. It's an occupational hazard. You should not have to subjugate yourself. You should not have to subject yourself to the nonsense that is #NeverCNN. I say #NeverCNN because don't watch CNN and don't support the people that sponsor CNN. CNN is garbage. It is a garbage network full of garbage people spewing garbage, pretending that they're objective. You notice I don't go after MSNBC or whatever they call themselves now very much because I expect it out of them. I don't mind a shark being a shark. I don't mind a tiger being a tiger, and I don't mind a nincompoop being a nincompoop. CNN lies to your face and then claims that they're not. And it is, in some ways, infuriating. More on that in a moment, as Scott Jennings is an absolute jewel on that network, and they're lucky to have him. And quite frankly, he destroys liberals with such regularity. I'm a little bit surprised they let him stay on there. We'll get to that in just a moment. We'll get to some oral arguments that were happening at the United States Supreme Court in just a moment. We'll talk about Greenland, as we say, coming up in a moment as well. But I have to update you on the voting on Nincompoops in the News. I'm pleased to note on this Tuesday edition of the Matt Murphy Radio Show that your humble host and correspondent, Matt Murphy, has achieved victory in Nincompoops in the News. Way to go, man.
I demand a recount.
All right, let me recount. No, I'm still winning. I still won. Thank you. I'm going to recount this thing like Georgia did in 2020. I'm going to recount this bad boy like Pennsylvania recounted in 2020. That is to say, we won, you lost, be quiet. Good. All right. Did I say 2025? Oh. Somebody said, it's 2026, and I immediately thought I accidentally said 2025. Why no wireless headphones on Matt? I find wireless headphones to be too bassy. I find any headphone. I used this is a good question. I was a very snobby. I used Bose headphones for years, the wired variety, and I thought they sounded fabulous. Wired Bose headphones. And what a great warranty on these things. I took them back twice and got new headphones. And I wasn't asking for new headphones. I was just asking for them to fix my headphones that had broken. Because I guess they don't necessarily, they're not accustomed to 4 hours of daily use. So I used Bose for years, and they went completely wireless with their headphones.
Yeah, and I don't think we can use. Is there a way to, it would be.
You would have to plug in a receiver into the plug.
Might have a hair of delay
yeah.
over what's coming out of your mouth.
Yeah, wireless would be tough.
I don't think wireless is even an option for us.
Maybe not.
Because I use wireless headphones regularly at home, but I use wired here.
I selected these Sonys, and I've used these professional Sonys. They're the 7506s. They're the studio monitor headphones since I left Bose when Bose went completely wireless. And I buy extra sets and hold them back because I'm such a freak about headphones. I'm such a freak about sound quality and I don't want to be. I wish I wasn't. I wish I could use earbuds. I honestly wish I could use earbuds, like the wired earbuds. But I know Chad does it, and I wish I could do it as well, but I just can't. That is why I cannot wear the crown while I do the segment, because of my stupid headphones. And that is the end of that story.
Mine are from China.
Are they now? What kind do you got over there? Whatever the.
I looked up professional headphones on Amazon, and this was the first result.
Weaver, what do you use in there? What's Weaver got in there?
I can't remember. Let me see.
All right. Got to look at him. Ken Weaver's taking off the headphones. He's giving them an examination, a thorough looky-loo.
ACTH M20X.
That sounds
Audio
like,
Technica.
yeah, it's no, Audio Technica's not bad. That's pretty good.
I've had them. I've had these for
62
I want to say
years.
5 years.
62 years. The last set of Sony Pros that I had lasted me a couple of years in Birmingham, and the first 2 years I was here in Nashville, and I had to get new sets because what happens is the ear pads start wearing out and they start flaking off.
Well, that's what's going on with these, but they haven't started to flake off yet.
See, eventually they'll flake off. But if you can wear a set out that way, you've gotten your money's worth.
Oh, yeah, this is a real good pair. Like I said, I've had them 5 years.
I love these, and I've got my backup set, I call them my home set, my backup set ready to go. And if I have to transfer to a new set, I will go and buy another backup set and have those ready to go. Because that's the way we roll on the Matt Murphy Show. Always ready. Always ready. Sitting on G, waiting on O. You see, Jackson, if you're always ready, you don't have to get ready. You need to think about that when the snow comes, Jackson.
I ain't ready.
So was that a legit forecast that you just told me about?
There are models out there where it could
have you
get
heard
up to.
have you heard this? Go ahead, Jackson. Just listen to this.
What
Ken.
is it, Brother
Now,
Jackson?
I saw this on the tweeter.
Okay.
And so take this with the grain of salt that you need, but don't use too much because we got salt the roads.
I saw 6 inches on my tweeter.
I saw anywhere from 14 to 24.
Goodness.
What? Come on.
No way,
Not
man.
gonna snow 2 feet in Nashville, Tennessee.
If there's 2 feet of snow on the ground, do you know what's going to happen around here?
Oh, hell's going to break loose.
We're going to have to fight for resources.
There won't be anything happening.
We might have to eat Ken Weaver.
Trying to figure out who we would eat.
Who's going to get the beard?
You know who would be delicious is that Sam from the morning show. I bet Sam would be really good.
If we're eating people.
I mean, we're going to eat
Why
people.
are we starting with the producers?
You don't want to get too big. See, I feel like we'd be the three of us be. No offense to you two, I'm including myself in this number. Y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
We'd be too greasy, y'all.
That's fair.
We'd eat too greasy. But Sam, see, Joan, not enough meat on the bone.
Mandus, not enough.
Mandus, not enough meat on the bone. Mason. But see, he'd be tough to take down. He's
Mason's
a big old boy. He's a big old boy.
Sam's a big old boy.
Sam is big, too. All right, we're going to have to go Benson.
And Headless Bell.
Benson and Bell.
Although they've been kind of dry aged.
That's true, of the older variety. But let me tell you something. I'm pretty sure that if we decided that it was going to be Chad, Bell would turn on him in a second.
He'd call first dibs.
I get the leg meat. I want the thigh meat, y'all. Anyway.
So this segment has been talking about headphones and eating our coworkers.
Cannibalism.
This segment brought to you by Cannibalistic Headphones. Look, the possibility of 2 feet is very, 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 very low.
But what if it happens?
It's not going to happen. Now, I'm interested to see the action plan because I don't have a home studio set up yet. I got to get that happening.
This action plan, we're going to have to come up with it fast. It's Tuesday, fellas.
I know.
Y'all going to have to stay in that hotel across the street.
I'm not staying in that dadgum marble rye thing over there. I'm not doing it. I'll stay in that one. I'm not staying in that one.
Excuse me, sir. My name is Ken Weaver. I have a reservation for 4 o'clock. What is the name? Ken Weaver. No room.
That's what he told me. That's when you're doing the
No room.
That same fella. I took up my residence and my heater didn't work, Ken. And there's snow on the ground. And so I went back to the front desk and talked. We call him Marble Rye because his hair looks like a.
It looks like a marble rye.
It looks like a marble rye. And I'm like, sir, I don't have any heat in my room. Okay, go back to a room and I come to you. I'm like, what? Go back to a room. I come to you. I was like, oh, okay.
Okay.
And I thought, well, okay, he's figuring it out and he'll find me a different. I assumed, and this is like 8 o'clock at night.
Right.
I assumed he would find me a room and then he would move my room. Well, I get a knock on the door about 20 minutes later, and it's a fella with a big push cart with a new heater,
brand new heater.
I come to replace heater. It's like, okie dokie. So at 9 o'clock at night, this dude was doing a major install in my hotel room.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this joint full, man? What are we doing here? And by the way, those are the weirdest. Have you ever stayed over there, Jackson?
Why would I ever stay over there?
That's a good question.
Well, you may be.
Some of the weirdest room configurations, like there's been some ritualistic, I don't know what going on over there. A lot of renovations. Anyway, we don't stay over there anymore, Jackson. At least Ken Weaver and I don't. Producers probably eligible.
Wasn't that that was your first week here, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, wasn't that in January, Ken? No. Was that December or January? I started December 13th.
It was January
of 2021. That was my first month.
Yeah, I'm thinking that was January.
Yeah, that was certainly my first month. Yeah, it's a lot of snow that day. Over the course of about 3 days. I think we had, 7 inches, something like that?
Something like that. But it was real cold.
But if we get 2 feet.
If we get 2 feet in Nashville, Tennessee, Middle Tennessee, period, with how hilly it is around here, nothing's going to be happening.
Look, it takes skill to drive on snow. It takes skill to drive on snow. You can't drive on ice.
No.
Without chains. You just can't.
It's like you said one snowstorm year, Brother Murphy. Whenever, we were telling people, you can risk it if you want, but probably shouldn't. I mean, you said, everything's all right until it's not.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Everything's fine until it's not fine. And then guess what? Guess where you are? You're in a ditch.
You're stuck over at the downtown split for about an hour and a half.
Well, that's what happened to me. I had to do a couple of years after the Marble Rye experience, we had an ice storm. And I thought I was going to beat the ice storm. I had to do Red Eye Radio. And I was on the way to Red Eye Radio. And this was like at 9:30 at night. Red Eye Radio starts at midnight. And I get into an incident at Spence Lane on the interstate. And there's a quag. A truck tried to go up there and turn sideways. And nobody's moving.
Right.
And we're on the – and I
remember that.
We just sat there. So I sat there. Finally, like at 11 o'clock at night, I had to call Dan Mandis. And thank goodness Mandis is a good enough man that he picked up the phone. And I said, Dan, I need you to get on Red Eye. I'm not going to be there. And he had to do the first 2 hours of Red Eye Radio for me. And then I finally got in and did the last 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's fine in Nashville, Tennessee with regard to traffic until it is not. Let me tell you, you can drive on snow. So what I'm here to tell you, Jackson, is if we get 2 feet of snow, that's a lot of snow, and that's going to quag things up. But if it's snow, I'm talking snow, the plows will work, everything will do as it should, and eventually people will be able to go. But if we get a half an inch of ice
and 2 feet of snow,
we're screwed.
It's over.
And see, that's the problem, boys. That's what this National Weather Service model is showing. It's showing snow first and then freezing rain.
See, that's bad.
Oh, we're so hosed.
Because that means that you're going to have a foot of snow and then an ice sheet on top of it.
Ice. And then that's when you're talking about power outages, because that ice is going to form on tree limbs.
Heavy.
And they're going to bring down them lines.
Heavy. Okay. 1844 says, I'm a heavy wrecker operator. I'll be out in it, Matt. I will. I bet you will. I mean, no, my goodness gracious. I mean, y'all make the world go.
They do.
When stuff like this happens.
Gotta have them.
Sandra says, I moved to Tennessee in 1992. We got 11 inches in April. Whew. John wants to know if Al Gore's in town. Oh. Global warming is a very reality situation, and it's going to cause all... You don't understand. Global warming causes the snow.
So does the internet, which he invented.
Well, thank you, Ken Weaver. I did invent the internet. Appreciate that for you noticing. Anyway, that's my very poor Al Gore. All right, 21 after the hour, 22 after the hour. Speaking of poor, y'all, there are many left of center justices that have been on the United States Supreme Court that have my respect. Even as I vehemently disagree with them on any number of issues, Ruth Bader Ginsburg was a smart woman. Justice Thurgood Marshall was a brilliant man. John Paul Stevens, a brilliant guy. And even Elena Kagan and Sonia Sotomayor, they're relatively smart people. Can I tell you again that Ketanji Brown Jackson is the dumbest person that has ever sat on the United States Supreme Court? And I will share 2 minutes of her stupidity with you in a moment on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hi, friends. It's Matt Murphy for Cover Nash. Shane Ring wants to ask a couple of questions. Number one, have your insurance premiums gone up? Number two, have your deductibles gone up? The possibility is the answer is yes to both of those questions. Number three, are there other possibilities or options out there for you? If you don't know the answer to that question, you owe it to yourself to call Shane Ring and Cover Nash. He's never going to try to upsell you on anything that you don't absolutely want and or need. Friends, Cover Nash is the go-to company that I recommend when it comes to your health insurance needs. They're located in Brentwood, so they're convenient to most any of you in the sound of my voice if you want to go in person, or you can do all of this over the phone and via the interweb, right? Cover Nash can cut your costs by 40 to 60%. You keep your doctor, you keep your hospital, you skip the government red tape. If you're self-employed, uninsured, or just tired of paying too much, 615-465-0023, 465-0023, covernash.com. That's covernash.com. And then there's Don Lemon. Don Lemon now says that all of the people in that church that he infiltrated, and I hope that Don Lemon is arrested. I hope that Don Lemon is perp walked. I hope that Don Lemon has to defend himself in court. And I'm tired of apologizing for all of this. These people politicize. These people want to put y'all under the jail. These people want to destroy your lives, and they're willing to do that. And I'm sick to death of having to listen to their nonsense. Listen and watch. As Don Lemon, I'm pretty sure that there's no cursing in this. He's on this, you'll recognize this woman's face. I don't even know what her name is. She's some left-wing influencer that has BRF or RBF. Which is it, Jackson? Which one do you go with? RBF?
RBF.
Well, she's very much got RBF. She actually said in one of her podcasts, I saw a clip of it, that if you are a Donald Trump supporter, that your life should be ruined. That if you're a Donald Trump supporter, that everything about your life should be examined and gone over with a fine-tooth comb, and that you should be put in jail. I'm not making that up, by the way. You can look it up. Well, Don Lemon was on her podcast and had this to say about his presence interrupting church services over the weekend.
There's a certain degree of entitlement. I think people who are, in the religious groups like that, it's not the type of Christianity that I practice, but I think that they're entitled, and that entitlement comes from a supremacy, a white supremacy. And they think that this country was built for them, that it is a Christian country, when actually we left England because we wanted religious freedom. It's religious freedom, but only if you're a Christian and only if you're a white male, pretty much. And so, yeah, I absolutely 100%, but it's an intimidation tactic. And, I said, I don't understand how I've become the face of it when I was a journalist. I do understand that I'm the biggest name there. And I'm also, as I was on with my producers this morning, you and Kylie talk all the time. My producers were saying, I said, how did I become the face of this? And my producer said, Don, you're a gay black man in America.
So Don Lemon is once again suggesting that he can't make it in America because he's gay and black. No, Don, you can't make it in America because you're an idiot. You're not a very smart person. And you did not go into that church. I mean, you walk in under the cloak of journalism, claiming that you are attempting to report on a story, but you don't report on a story. You become an activist. You became an activist in that church, defending the practices of the individuals that were interrupting that service, acting as a disgusting tool for the protesters. So don't come at me with all that nonsense, because that's what it is. It's nonsense. So Don Lemon claims that he's a neutral observer, but then also claims that the congregates that he went in to disrupt have entitlement because of white supremacy. Yet photograph after photograph after photograph after photograph after video after video after video after video of the service shows Asian people and black people and brown people and people of all stripes and shapes and sizes. There aren't just white dudes in there. These folks, they're making no logical sense, and they know it. And Don Lemon seems to be a little bit worried that he's going to get arrested, and he should be. He should be. More on that in a moment, and more from Ketanji Brown Jackson, who somebody said, boy, Murphy, you're retreading material. Justice Jackson again? No show prep becoming commonplace these days? No, 0152. You need to keep up. This is a brand new story. Last week, it was about transgenderism in America and boys playing in girls' sports. This week, it's about the Second Amendment and private property rights. We'll tell you the story, the background, and tell you the clip, or air the clip for you on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. She keeps saying no accumulation. Would you please call the weather lady and tell her that she keeps saying no accumulation, and I have it on good authority that we're getting 2 feet. And that authority is Jackson Williams, a.k.a. our magic meteorologist on the Matt Murphy Show on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
So that is for Wednesday's system she is talking about.
Okay.
Not Saturday.
Oh, Jackson, thank you. I was I was listening with one ear, and so thank you. I appreciate that. So our magic meteorologist, Jackson Williams of the Matt Murphy Show on Super Talk, has cleaned that up. I'm glad you did. And, hey, friends, you've got a little bit of time. Why not get some warm weather gear at Volunteer Outfitters? They've got all the things that you need for outdoorsy type activities, to include gear that will keep you through the cold weather, right? They've got all the brand names you know and love. They've got Huck. They've got Orca. They've got Extra Tough. I mean, the Durango. They've got them at Volunteer Outfitters. And you can have them at Volunteer Outfitters, and not for all those fancy Nashville prices. Friends, you can get them at Hendersonville prices, because Volunteer Outfitters is located just down the road from all those high prices in Hendersonville on New Shackle Island Road. Go see Volunteer Outfitters. Tommy and his team want to talk with you. They have 15% off boots every single day. We're talking Durango, Muck, and Extra Tough. Perfect for hunting or working or playing about in the snow. If you need some new boots, some snow boots, get them at Volunteer Outfitters. Go by and see them. They're open Tuesday through Saturday. They would love to see you. Do not show up for the snow day empty-handed. Get some great gear at Volunteer Outfitters. Volunteer Outfitters, get her done. They're located in Hendersonville on New Shackle Island Road. Tell them Matt Murphy sent you. We live in an upside-down world in a lot of ways, but let me tell you, friends, I am reminded when I talk to the good people of my newly adopted hometown of Mount Pleasant. I'm reminded when I talk to the good people of the state of Tennessee, even people that don't think exactly like I do, that for the most part, it is good, it is right, we are good, we're okay. Now, sometimes I believe the Civil War that is going to be here at some point is right around the corner. Other times, I believe that we got a little time on our hands. When you watch the mainstream media networks, you'd believe that we're about to blow it up. I hate that, but it's true. CNN is such trash. More on that in a second. Right now, let me get to who's been holding the longest. 1, 2, or 3 there, Jackson? 1, 2, or 3. Number 1. Hello, Beach Hill.
How you doing there, Matt?
I'm great. I hope you are.
I'm doing fine. I just want to let y'all know, back in 1985, in January, I was milking cows down here just south of Cornersville off of 31A, exit 22 on I-65. It got down to minus 16 degrees.
Yikes.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, if you'll check the records, last year we also had an episode where it got doggone down there to 16 degrees below zero, and 2 or 3 weeks later, next thing you know, we're in short pants and T-shirts.
The coldest temperature ever recorded in the state of Tennessee was on December 30th, 1917. And it was in Mountain City, negative 32 degrees.
Well, yeah,
but hold on. I got more. You ready?
Yeah.
The all-time record in Nashville, Tennessee was on January 21st, 1985. It was negative 17 degrees.
See, that was the year I was out here milking cows. I was milking cows, and it was so cold, we couldn't get the doggone propane in the tank to heat up enough to warm the water up to wash the cows down to milk them.
Wow. Yeah,
I mean, it was bitter. And also, they don't record it, but there was 11 inches of snow and 11 inches of snow and about a half an inch of ice on top of that, and it killed a man. A building went down on him in Pulaski. That because of that snow and everything. So, if it builds up, be very careful. Be very careful.
Well, I'll tell you this, Middle Tennessee is no stranger to significant snowfall, Beach Hill. Thank you for the call. I mean, hopefully we will not be getting cold temperatures like that. But I'm looking at a couple of the record amount of snowfall in the state of Tennessee was on March 16th through the 18th of 18 and 92. Is it wrong of me that I have a lot of doubt when records go back into the 1800s? Because I just don't feel like their methods were particularly scientific. Now, the biggest, now that's in Tennessee. I do get several of you are telling me that y'all remember the 1985 freeze. No, I just pulled it up. I was like, record low temperatures in Tennessee, and it gave me Nashville, and Nashville was negative 17 in 1985. There are several records set that day. Mount Mitchell, which is the highest peak in the state at 6,684 feet, had a record 36 inches of snow, which fell on one 24-hour period, March 13th, 1993. Man, I remember that 1993 storm. I was at West Georgia College in Carrollton, Georgia, and we had about 11, 12 inches that day, which was significant for that part of the world. So, yeah, I mean, it's not unprecedented, but they're saying it's going to be a pretty significant snowfall. Matt is next in Shelbyville. Hello, Matt.
Hey, Matt. How you doing?
I'm great, man.
Well, now you brought I got two things that I want to say. One, about this, I'm going to push back on your statement that CNN is trash. And as you say, don't listen to CNN because I'll listen for you. And that's the problem right there. I don't need a buffer. I don't need for you to give me your subjective about something. Let me form my own opinion. And the reason why CNN is not trash is because they put the Republicans on there for their point of view. Whether I agree with the point of view or not, I still get to hear that side of the coin. Not only that, I hear it in the morning. CNN puts so many Republican senators on for whatever business that they're doing. But Fox, they don't do that. They do not do that.
They invite Fox News invites the Democrats. The Democrats refuse to come on, Matt. You got to know what you're talking about you got to bring the receipts. Fox News invites the Democrats. The Democrats refuse to come on Fox News.
Okay. So I know that because I watch Fox as well, that when they do get on, your host will always talk them right out of the segment. But that's here nor there.
But Matt, hold on. Are you holding the same standard to CNN? CNN regularly gives Democrats a pass, and I watch it every day. So perhaps it is your bias or your perspective that creates somewhat of a blind spot in you. I understand that Republicans go on CNN and they get raked on CNN. They get grilled on CNN. They regularly give Democrats a pass with their nonsense on CNN, which is one of the reasons I call them trash.
Oh, okay. Well, again, that's subjective. Whether they give them a pass or not, that's beside the point. Because I'm not, and I remember when Ted Turner owned that thing, they were a staunch Republican news organization.
Wait, so they were never. Ted Turner was never a staunch Republican. He was married to Jane Fonda, for God's sakes, and they were never. They were down the middle. They were a news organization. I'll grant you that. My beef with CNN, and the reason I call CNN trash, Matt, is because they pretend that there's something they're not. I don't care if you're left or center. That's fine. MSNBC does their own thing. Fox does their own thing. Fox doesn't pretend that their commentary is not right-leaning commentary. Same with MSNBC. CNN attempts to lie to all of us and claim that they're being objective. When I watch the interviews that they do with the Republicans, and then I watch the interviews that they do with Democrats, and they are decidedly different things. I did not hang up on you, Matt. So if we lost your signal, you can call back and retort. I appreciate the exchange, but I did not hang up on you. So if you want to call us back, by all means, call us back. Robbie is next up. Hey, Robbie.
Hey, Matt. I grew up on that street. I know exactly what street you're talking about. I know the house you're talking about. Sorry, I'm not going to be weird about it. But the sledding hill is a thing. I remember back when I was a kid, we used to, we'd find old car hoods, and we go sledding down that hill.
We are
so much fun.
We're thinking about if the snow comes down in the amounts that they're talking about, we're going to sell hot chocolate, set up in the driveway. No, did you hear my story earlier about my window guy?
Yes, sir, I did.
Yeah, so for those that missed it, Robbie's referring to this. We had a little window mishap with the painting, and which is all good. It's fine. And my window guy said, "Man, if it does snow, you're going to see a show." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And it's like, well, everybody in Mount Pleasant knows to come up the top of the hill and sled down the hill.
Yep. And just so you know, if it gets a little bit cool enough, what we'll do is we'll open up that fire hydrant on the top on the right-hand side, and so it ices over, and then we can go sledding a little bit more.
Well, I got the four-wheel drive, so I'll do what I need to do.
Well, welcome to Mount Pleasant, buddy. It's a good place.
Oh, man.
But it's a little redneck, and you'll enjoy it.
I love it. I love everything about it. Look, and I said this at the beginning of the show, and just in case she was not listening, I mean, I've met a lot of great people. I mean, my neighbors, Henry and Lisa, are great folk. I haven't met all the neighbors yet. We're just getting in. But the first day that we were there, Miss Stacy came over with a beautiful charcuterie. Man, oh, man, it was just absolutely delicious, number one, and gorgeous, number two. And that's just, that just lets you know. That just sets your heart right that you're in a great place. She came over, found out we were new neighbors. She's, lives a couple of streets across the way, and brought it over and just gave it to us and said, "I'll come get my plates and all that later on." That is good neighborly love. That's Tennessee living right there, and I absolutely love it. All right, Matt. Matt, I wanted you to finish up. I did not hang up on you, and I wanted to make sure you knew that. But finish up. Go right ahead, sir.
No, I lost signal, but make it real quick. That's the problem with our media today, is there is 5 minutes of news and 23 minutes and 55 seconds of commentary. That's our problem. We need to turn around and whatever the news is, and keep everybody's opinion to themselves, because it's just an opinion. You might not be right. You might be right in certain points and might be wrong in certain points. And everybody is talking like it's gospel. And I just get sick of it. I just really do. But another
can I Matt will be able to hear this if I play it for him, won't he? Yeah. Can I play you something to demonstrate? It kind of illustrates that you're right in certain ways, but that I just want to play this to you. All right, this is from last night. This is what set me off. And this is a fellow by the name of Cameron Kasky, I guess, who is he co-founded March for Our Lives. And he's on this panel that's normally hosted by Abby Phillips. And last night it was hosted by John Berman. And just listen to this for just a second.
I am appreciative that the president is being transparent about this. I would love it if he was more transparent about the human sex trafficking network that he was a part of, but you can't win them all.
Cameron's grateful that the president is being transparent about the Nobel Peace Prize and his desires for Greenland. Scott, what do you think about that?
You going to let that sit? Are we going to claim here on CNN that the president is part of a global sex trafficking ring? Or
all right, so, and I can play you more. Matt, a commentator on CNN claimed that Donald Trump was a part of a global sex trafficking ring, and the host of the show just moved on and wasn't going to correct the record. It took Scott Jennings to say, you're going to let this happen? And John Berman, actually, let me just play you this portion. John Berman clapped back at him.
I mean, we're going to talk about the Epstein file. Scott, I will do the fact-checking as we go along.
I will do the fact-checking. There is zero evidence that Donald Trump was a part of any sex trafficking ring. And they were just going to let it go. That's trash.
I agree. I agree. But in that moment, it's trash, but there are in other moments that it's not. But like I said again, let's talk about the news. There's so much news that we can talk about, and if it's bad news, bad coverage, then you can litigate that, and then whatever's litigated would become fact.
Well, I will say this to your point, Matt, to support your point, that when they just do news, when there's a breaking news situation, like a natural disaster in the immediate after effects before it gets political, or just any number of breaking news, CNN is better than any other national news network when they're just strictly covering the news. I would agree with that.
And another thing, when you said real quick, the Civil War, that this country's coming into a civil war. I want to know exactly what you mean. Are you talking about citizens fighting citizens? Are we talking about a financial?
I'm talking about we're coming to a point in the United States of America where there will be a large group of people that believe that it is in the best interest of everyone involved to split up.
Well, they're doing that now. But again.
Well, to my point, to formalize that in a way where literally there would be conversations about secession. And, oh, by the way, before you start, there were conversations about secession in California and Washington and Minnesota and other blue states after Donald Trump got elected in 2024. So.
Okay, but we all do know that we are already
in a spiritual sense, I would agree with you. Yeah.
No, well, yeah. But also with the United States of America, all of the states are technically separated to begin with.
Yes. So here's what I would say, Matt, toward your point, and I've long argued this, and you're a smart enough guy, you understand it, that the states, when we had the first Civil War, the southern states were 100% wrong spiritually and philosophically and from a legal standpoint regarding the institution of slavery. 100% wrong. Slavery is an evil institution. Let's get that out of the way. However, you know what they were right about? They should have been allowed to leave. But they lost the war. The reason we had to go to war is because they were right on that point. They get to leave. The North fought them and said, no, you're not going to leave, and we're going to leave, and we're going to fight for this plot of land to remain as a part of the United States of America. But you're right that we are a collection of 50 separate experiments that we call the United States.
I just hope we just don't start shooting one another, because
me too, man.
It's not. We're smart enough in technology to wait. Well, let me ask real quick again. Do you think that if the Republicans and Democrats would do their jobs, then socialism couldn't exist. But when both of these parties are not going to do their job, socialism will exist.
I will answer that question for you, Matt, on tomorrow's show because we're simply out of time. It's 55 after the hour. Hello, friends. Matt Murphy here. How do you feel about your body in the new year? Are you a little concerned that after 20 days of dieting and doing what you need to do that you're not getting the fat off that you wanted to get off? Well, let me tell you that there's some help. It's in the form of Keith, Stephanie, and the rest of the crew at Contours. Contours has the red light technology that is the perfect solution to get rid of that stubborn fat that keeps you from looking your best. Friends, Contours is located in Cool Springs, and they're here to help both men and women lose body fat and much more. The Ultra Slim Body Contouring guarantees you'll lose 2 inches on your first treatment, or your first treatment is free. And friends, it's a $99 Belly Buster special for $99. Now, ask them about the Murph, which is a longer-term special that they've got running right now. Tell Keith that I sent you in for the Murph, and they'll help you out. But this deal, it works. I lost 2.67 inches. My first treatment alone, it's non-invasive. It does not hurt. The results are instantaneous. I've gone through the process, and it works. Friends, go to contoursllc.com to find out more, or call 615-236-9960, 236-9960 for Contours LLC.
Hey, this is Pastor Allen. Join us on Super Talk 99.7, Sunday evenings from 7 to 8. We're going to look at the news from a biblical perspective.